Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream. Today we are mainly going to be messing around with treasure hunt, but some other things we need to go do is finish out the bounty hunter that's only one battle away and go get that major orb and hopefully get something nice off of it. Are we still on leaderboard? No, but we're within range with our free battles. Literally like 2 battles will get it, so right on top of that. But yeah, let's go start with that, as that's one of the main things we need to go do first. I've just been camping level 17, ends up working out nicely. Just been using Soldier of Wrath, Parrot, Feral Hound, and Yagway for that, and it should be the last battle we need to do, other than if we do all the other ones for leaderboard, which we'll probably do, just because why not? Oh, we got a Val Raven already, nice, okay. Let's go grab all the manas we need, and just go from there. What do we take, what do we take? Let's grab all the blues. See if we can take anything that gives us mana. I don't really need that skull. Bunch of browns. I guess we take a brown to brown would be perfectly fine. So we'll go take that one. Grab the green. The yellow is not actually going to give us anything. It will start giving Yagway some mana, but at this point, Feral Hound's already so close that probably just better going into that. No, we'll just take it because we'll get mana off the Cascade. And now would be a good time to go take a green surge, even just taking this red surge just to guarantee that we have full mana for the Yagway. Also gets that little skull drop. And we already have alignment, perfect, so we'll grab that. Parrot's all the way in the back, but it's always blocked by yellow, so it shouldn't matter. Sometimes that can be a little bit risky with this team just because it stays away from the Yagway for a while. But it's not really going to matter because he can't gain mana. Or at least very unlikely that he's going to gain much mana. So first lot dies, that's not too big a deal. Let's take a brown surge. I'll give us hounds, throw hounds. And that looks like alignment, but no extra turn. So we'll go for it, get our hit. And looks like we just need to fire it again. We got all of our mana, so we can't just refire it whenever we want. Which we're definitely going to need to do. But let's take that down. Grab another hound down. Get another Yagway. And another 2 Yagways should do it. We'll likely want them to be back to back if we can, and there we go, just to make sure the Val Raven doesn't escape. And it doesn't. And that's that. Well, there we go. We now have even more sigils than we had when we started. And we also have enough to finally get the final reward here. So let's see what we get from this major orb. Hopefully it's something that isn't too awful. Oh yeah, we get 5 of the arcane too. I don't really need that though. 20 gems, 20,000 gold. But the main thing is this hopefully being a blue. But let's see. It is a purple. Okay, so it was kind of worth it this week. All the loot that we ended up getting from this game mode. So we ended up getting the purple from this. And we ended up getting the blue from one of the vault keys. And we got all the other scraps. So barely making a profit on this bounty hunter. But, I don't know. It's still net gains, luckily. I had a redeem code for later. I always been doing them at the beginning of the stream just to make sure we don't have to waste time later. But anyways, let's go mess around with some other stuff. This was clear out dungeons real quick. And then probably do a bunch of treasure hunt. Still got a lot of treasure hunts to do. Take all the reds, take all the blues. Grab our greed that we need, take the other red. Destroy everything. What else? We'll destroy everything again. Go for a key in there if we can. Take our reds. Yeah, let's kill it. Take the brown. Grab another destroy for everything. And just do it again and get our key down. Easy enough. Oh, we are currently using the, what's it called? The Sun Spear, mainly because we need it for the perpetual red storm. There's no notification for the stream starting, really? Well, that's YouTube. That's YouTube in a nutshell. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything I could do to make that happen. It just kind of does or does not happen. Well, hopefully it'll go out sometime in the next several minutes. That's kind of weird that it hasn't. Stream's up still. It's public. I don't know why it wouldn't be showing. Everything is all there. That's YouTube. Anyways, we'll go throw that down. Grab a red there. Such a quality product. Take the skull. Get everything destroyed. There's still that glitch too at the beginning of every single video I have, and they still haven't bothered fixing it. There's nothing I can do, and contacting them is like near impossible. Unless you're a gigantic YouTuber. And even then, it's still somewhat impossible. Let's see, we'll throw another key down. And dead. Restart the stream in OBS? I don't think that's going to change anything, but I'll go do it real quick. Okay, the stream should be back up and it should be restarted now. But yeah, I don't think that's going to make a single difference. It's just going to look like the stream went down for a few seconds. Okay, I'll take the blue to the reds, grab another key. But people know what time it normally is. Even if the notification doesn't come up, people will roll in on the next hour. Okay, we got enough keys, so let's double key it. The other one. Get it again, and let's go out with key. Go let me, and done it good. Okay, so that's situated. Oh yeah, I keep thinking that's something else. Every single time. I wish I would like tell you how many it is, just so you kind of know. But anyways, yeah, I know, I didn't think it would change anything. It'll just make the stream lag for a few seconds. But anyways, that's that. Let's go do a bunch of treasure hunt. Obviously, we have a lot to go do for it. It's going to take like an hour or something. But we very rarely ever do treasure hunt, so doing it about once a month for one of these events, I guess, is fine. It only takes about an hour or so. It's going to take actually a little bit more than an hour, but about hour 15, hour half is about how long it takes. We won't be doing that literally all consecutively, though. We'll be throwing in some Phoenicia and some other stuff, too. The more I use Phoenicia, she seems kind of okay. She's still pretty underwhelming, but I don't know, there's just better alternatives for her is the biggest issue with her. Like, you could use her, but if you have everything, there's no point in using her. Because there's so many other things that are better alternatives. But her as herself is, not like too awful. The biggest thing that actually makes it somewhat competent is the fact that it can double cast kill. In that you can just cast it twice and win out the battle. There's many things that can do that, but she is one of them. And as long as you're not up against Storm Spam like Mountain Crusher or I or, you know, anything that's going to really get it consistently, and she's going to be fine. Hello, JCG. Hello, Elite. Hello, Cayman. Welcome, everyone. We're on the treasure hunt. Oh, why did I take it that way? Oh, it doesn't matter. As long as you take the quickest move possible. Constantly. That's the main thing that matters in this game mode. Or at least these days, it's the main thing that matters in this game mode. Is just rush pick the first thing you see. Regardless of how good it is. There we go. Hey, we finally got gems. That makes up for all the gems we weren't getting yesterday off of treasure hunt. We got 4 all in one single map. Normally it's about an average of 1 per map, if you do it like this. Unless you're deliberately going out of your way to try to get more green chests. Which overall actually lowers your loot, but if you're looking for gems, then it might still be worth it. Ha, I'm playing treasure hunt. We're not playing it the entire time. Treasure hunt's amazing. Don't throw a bunch of Z's at it. Oh no. It's a weird game mode, because its play is pretty much counterproductive to the entire rest of the game. The play style of treasure hunt's pretty much the exact opposite of what you do in normal play, because you never want to give the enemy a good turn, yet the entirety of treasure hunt is basically trying to give your next turn a good turn, which, if you're playing it properly anyways, which is quite a bit different than how you played a normal game. Like, the polar opposite. Which is kind of weird, but I don't know, it's still a good game mode. It just has ridiculously bad loot. I wish they would add more things like this from the Puzzle Quest series. This was basically one of the mini games within Puzzle Quest. Not exactly, but it's themed very, very closely to it, to the point that it's really obviously based on it. Because of course they did all the Puzzle Quest games too. But I don't know, I kind of wish they would bring in some of those other mini games. There was a lot of really good ones that they could potentially bring over and revamp into a little bit more modern, since some of those are like a decade old. But I don't know, I feel like they had a lot of opportunity for it. I don't think the code is in Unity though. The code that they have for all the mini games from their other stuff. Because that was before they converted everything over to Unity. Hello, Michael. Hello, Nagatsun. Any tips for soul farming the best class to level up? Any tips for soul farming? Oh, never mind. Those were two different separate questions. I thought those were the same question. For soul farming, basically spam arena, or you can use Dragon Soul Triple Azurus, Dragon Soul Double Azurus Umber Wolf, or Dragon Soul Triple Warlock if you needed something really cheap. And if you need something really, really cheap, Triple Warlock Valkyrie, if you can kill out the first challenge Divinian Fields with one shot off of Warlocks, that could be okay. But generally, everything prior to Dragon Soul Azurus teams, you just do an arena. It's because your overall loot, while your soul rate might be a little bit lower, your overall loot will be more per hour if you factor in every single piece of any resource that you're getting from doing arena. But and as far as arena, basically just spamming Runic Blade every time until you have Dawnbringer is basically the way to go as far as arena is concerned. But as far as what was the other one? Class leveling. The quickest way that you can ever level classes, there are two. You can either do challenge spam or explore spam. Most people just do explore spam instead, where you essentially just keep exploring over and over and over again in wherever you happen to need trait stones from, and you just do it with any quick team like a Sunbird, Firebomb, Rowan, with your hero in there, or any similar other team. Most of them are based on Sunbird. You don't have to do it based on Sunbird, but it is one of the better things to be using for quick kill challenges, particularly later in the game, because it actually has enough to one-shot kill the entire enemy team, which is nice, or at least most of the time anyways. Yes, the 50 gem cost removal is coming soon, probably in the next month, though no confirmation 100% yet. But yeah, very, very likely it shall be coming. I don't think they 100% confirmed it yet. I know they mentioned it, but they've always mentioned it. But no, there's a really high chance it's coming next patch. But yeah, we'll finally be able to set hero classes, basically how we can set banners. So like how you can set a banner for any team without any kind of restriction or anything, that's basically going to be hero classes. It's something they talked about for ages, but I believe they're finally implementing it next patch.
Extra turn.
That was a long cascade. Too bad you don't actually get anything from them in Treasure Hunt. They really should have given at least something extra for it whenever you do large cascades in this game mode. It's absolutely no benefit whatsoever. If anything, it's actually a bad thing whenever you get large cascades to a degree, just because your those could have been potential extra turns that could have gotten you even more turns overall. I could have taken it 5 times there. It's not that big a deal though. Actually, I should probably be taking these moves a little bit quicker, not caring as much if we're missing another 5 times like we just did right there. Yeah, no problem for the info. Play one map to 100+ turns. I'll be here for like an hour if I'm trying to get a single map to 100+ turns. That's not happening. I'm so rusty on treasure maps. It's probably been like a month and a half since we bothered really playing them. I very, very rarely play them off stream. I do ever so occasionally, but they're just normally not worth the time unless it's the event, like right now. And when they are the event, they're actually really decent value, even in late game. It's not that bad.
Extra turn.
It's mainly gems that you're getting as loot, but still, gems is gems. We're gonna need them.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
I'll take that. Grab that over. Oh, it moved it. Oh well. That's why you don't take the move from the exact same location. Otherwise, it's gonna do things like that. Also, did anyone get the notification for the stream? There was an issue with it earlier where it didn't come out. And I assume it still hasn't come out, but I'm not sure. But yeah, did anyone get here from a notification? Like the normal YouTube notification? Because it seems not to be working. But what else is new with YouTube? Hey, we got 4 gems again. That's the second one within a few that we actually got 4 gems on. It's actually way above average for a map of this kind. That's weird. Some people are getting it, some people aren't. Well, luckily that's why we have a schedule. Okay, we'll go grab all that. Take a thing over. Grab the other thing. All the gold we need there.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Okay, grab that. Get our... oh, we actually got a red chest in there. It's actually a bad thing. It lowers our loot. Doesn't even increase our loot. Just makes it lower. Just because converting them into a bigger resource actually makes... Basically, like, the components to make each resource is more than the actual thing that it converts into. So those 3 brown chests were actually better than the loot from that one green chest that just gave us 20 souls. Case in point. But, hey, we got 2 glory keys from one of them. But, yeah, it's really, really bad to actually convert them too high. When you're speeding through them, really anything above green is really bad. Sometimes even go for green's bad, but at least it's the place where you get gems from. But, yeah, you really shouldn't ever try converting them beyond red. I mean, beyond green. Anything beyond that starts losing you a lot of value. Assuming you're just doing quick maps. Obviously, if you're doing larger maps, you actually play it out properly. But for quick map purposes, you should never go beyond green, unless it accidentally happens. Why did I not take that other one? No gems? What are you doing, ripping us off on gems? Actually, then again, I don't even really need gems. Out of every single loot they could possibly drop, I probably need the glory the most. The glory and glory keys. I don't know, gems are always kind of nice. Getting more is definitely just better than not having as many. Just because it is technically the premium currency, so they always tend to use things that are related to gems for almost everything. You don't you don't normally get notifications with YouTube Gaming. Sometimes you see that YouTube stream is set up, but not on YouTube Gaming. I normally don't use the YouTube Gaming side, oddly enough, but I know even on just the normal YouTube side, it sometimes doesn't do it. Even if you have notifications on. It's really weird and finicky. Like, sometimes it wants to do it, sometimes it doesn't. You hit an enemy with a bunch of Doom Skulls and dodged them with Agile, but then split a second later, they died. What's the reason? I believe it's because of how the +5s are calculated for Doom Skulls. where they basically ignore traits, essentially.
Extra turn.
That's most likely what happened. One thing that Agile does do, which isn't the glitch, is Agile will dodge every skull in an instance. But you have to keep in mind, when you're taking a bunch of Doom Skulls, you're not just taking a bunch of Doom Skulls via skull. A lot of them are actually being exploded, and the ones that get exploded are actually still doing damage. So, what's basically happening is it's dying off of all the +5s, essentially,
Extra turn.
which ignores the Agile trait. If you did the same with Skull Spam, it would have done 0 damage to it. But it's basically doing 5 damage per Doom Skull if it's calculating out correctly.
Extra turn.
Sometimes it does a little bit less than that, because whatever ones are initially considered in the clump, I don't believe get calculated towards it, because they count as skull damage rather than explode damage. But any of them that count as explode damage will hit through all traits. It hits through skull mitigation, it hits through agile, it hits through anything that could possibly reduce anything.
Turn.
It also is boost ratio, or both of them are boost ratio based on Hunter's Mark as well. They happen to have it on them.
Extra turn.
So yeah, once we reach the 3rd reward, we'll go do something else for a little bit, just so we're not in treasure hunt literally the entire time. We'll spread out the hour across the entire stream, so it's not all clumped up in one little area. Good morning, Brian. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Fook. Let's see. Forgot the name of the troop, but I'm sure you know. Glaceon? Oh, wait.
Extra turn.
Makes sense because there's a troop that has... Oh, never mind. Stonehammer. Stonehammer underneath the dungeons. Yeah, it's possible to kill them completely with skull damage alone. We've killed them with Doom Skull damage a couple times before, just for fun. Mostly when Doom Skulls were really meta, and were just completely broken, even more so than they are now. But, yeah, he still can take skull damage. No skull mitigation, even 100%, doesn't actually reduce it below 1. Whenever you hit him with a skull, he will take 1 damage instead of 0, even though he has 100% skull reduction. Only Agile completely dodges it. Skull mitigation at minimum has to do 1. So that's another reason why he still died to it. That's mostly from the Doom Skull damage and all the +5s that explode. Wouldn't really advise it because it takes forever, but it is possible to kill him with it. New to the game, especially Bounty Hunter, what is a good team to go with if you aren't maxed? Generally, if you aren't maxed, especially if you have lower stats, one of the better ways to do Bounty Hunter is, for one, don't really spend that many gems on Bounty Hunter, or if any, because it's probably going to be a waste if you don't have decently high stats, or at least moderately high stats. But the other thing is just camp one of the lower levels with a pure bounty team. Basically what I mean by that is go into your troops and basically just type in bounty, and that will bring up every single troop that currently has a that's basically considered a bounty troop, and they'll have anywhere from 2 times to 6 times multiplier based on their ascension. Basically pick the most competent 4 that have the highest ascension. Pick the captain if you happen to have bought any gems. That's whatever one was available for gems for the given week, or the given month, I mean. And then basically just use that team. And just do it and camp it on one of the lower levels. Like, basically however far you can get and still comfortably kill it with that team is how far you would go. So if that's the 6th battle or the 8th battle or whatever it might be, whatever one looks the easiest and capable of being defeated with the current stats you have, with as many bounty troops in your team as possible, ideally all 4, is basically what you do. It depends what your stat line currently is. If it's a bit higher, you could try going all the way, but it's could potentially be a waste of gems. And if you are going to go all the way, you generally build an entire team out of 3 bounty troops in order of captain, a support troop, feral hound, and then whatever you want to use as your damage. So things like Yagway if you have, or Infernus, or Wordbreaker, really anything like that that can actually function as a solo damage source. No problem. Yeah, what you're doing then's perfectly fine then. That's about the best you're going to be able to do for the events, and get whatever free loot you can from that. I wouldn't really bother spending any gems on it then. It's just going to be a waste.
Extra turn.
Bounty Hunter is one of those game modes, unfortunately, that it's not necessarily restricted to late game, but generally if you're actually going to spend gems on it, you kind of do need to be at least mid to late game, just because it's a little bit of a waste of gems otherwise. But then again, I guess in a way, a lot of the game modes are kind of like that, where they can be a little bit too difficult if you don't have either higher stats or the right troops. Luckily, most of the resources with them can be obtained by other means. Alright, we'll do one more map, and I think that will be as far as I want to go with it for now. And then we'll revisit maps a little bit later, and then go do some PvP or something else. So what else do we need to do? Yeah, we need to go do 1.9k in PvP. We also need to go do something else. I guess some delves, but that wasn't the other thing I was thinking of. I just sworn there was one other thing we needed to do. Alright, move that, move that. Good morning, Carlina. Welcome. Event points? That's what we're doing right now. That was not what I was thinking of, though. I guess it could have been maybe leveling the hero class. I'm not sure. Could have sworn there's one other thing. Probably isn't, though. Well, I'll find out in a moment. Once I go back to the other menu, it'll probably pop into my head. But yeah, the only main things we need to get done right now is 1.9k PvP, delves, if I'm doing all those now, and probably do some of them now, some of them later, and the last of the event gem thingies. There we go. Okay, and I got up to as far as I said I wanted to go for now, which is the first 3 rewards. So there we go. We got her so far 40 gems, our 8 glory keys, and now the only other loot that we're really working towards is 50 gems, which isn't too bad. We can get that within about half an hour to 45 minutes, and that's on top of the gems we're already getting and all the other resources. And then we get 8 gem keys, which also isn't too bad, which is in about the same interval away. So yeah, basically each 100 we get a new reward. I don't even count the looters, they might as well not even be there. Those are so useless. Oh yeah, we have mail. Oh, it's just our redeem code, never mind. We'll hand that out a little bit later. Keep forgetting. Anyways, let's go and yeah, let's go mess with PvP some. I still don't have 1.9k, which is pretty sad. But do we run key team? Let's actually go run, let's go with a different Phoenicia team. What do we have under red loop? I don't need that. Let's go, actually we are gonna go red loop. Let's go the red loop of the new Mythic. See what we could do with it. This classic Alchemist Moneylender. Throw a Phoenicia in there. And what's a good support for that? I guess Hero, because we get Red Storm and then we can use any weapon we want. What's a blue-purple weapon that isn't 100% useless? Actually, there's one that gains souls, but I don't know if that would really help us much. Let me see. Clear filter. I'm looking for a blue-purple all-color. What do we have? We have Merchant Blade, the one that gives an absurd amount of souls. And that's basically it. No, this is for extra turn, right? Restore all HP to full, gain an extra turn, and gain a bunch of souls. That's actually not awful. Please tell me it doesn't have a storm. It does not have a storm, and it has a free Doom Skull. I never even realized it has a free Doom Skull. Interesting. So we just double cast that, and then boom, we're good to go. Sure, let's go do that. Let's put it into our team. Already got it upgraded. Wait, was anything else here good? Steal all of the enemy's armor. If the enemy is a boss, Death Mark, no. Yeah, all these other ones were trash, other than maybe Merchant Blade. Well, actually, there's like 3 weapons here. There's Philanthropy, there's Prismatic Orb, and there is Merchant Blade. These two would basically never be used, or, well, these three would basically never be used, and these two are questionable. Actually, those four would basically never be used. That's the only one that's questionable on if it could or could not be used, and the only reason it's even semi-viable is use the 6 colors. But anyways, let's go test this. See what we can get out of this. I don't know, maybe we should put something else there, like a Goblin Rocket or something, but we'll go with Hero for now and just kind of see how it goes down. We're using the right Hero class, so it should be fine. Now I just need to use the right banner. Where's the minus purple thingy? It's fine if we give it to Hero. Oh, wait, wrong one. I need brown and red. There we go. Okay, so now we have +2 brown, +2 red. And now we just Alchemist Moneylender into Phoenicia. Oh, wait. Oh, no. We do have it. Never mind. I was going to say, we need a Red Storm, but Hero has it. Off of Perpetual Red Storm. Okay, this should work. Let's go move that down. Let's grab an extra turn. He doesn't have freeze, so it doesn't really matter. Grab all that. Get an Alchemist down. We'll do it on purple, I guess. Get a Moneylender going. Get Skull. Grab a... Is that right? Do we go for it? Yeah, why not? Go for it now. Moneylender immediately into it. And it was kill out the entire enemy team. No! The enemy of oh, what's it called? Of AoE. Whenever something constantly keeps getting summons. Every single time. Okay, let's throw that down at it. But yeah, if in doubt, go Alchemist Moneylender with anything that correlates with its color. And it will work. Okay, grab that over. Actually, this isn't even too bad. There's a lot of other things you could use that are way cheaper than this thing in this place of it, but it's actually not that bad. Yeah, we'll do it on blue there. Get a Moneylender. Ideally, he'd already be full mana, or she'd be. There we go. Perfect. Grab that. Moneylender. Get an Alchemist. Did we just get rid of red? She uses both, so I guess it's fine. So last kill, as long as it doesn't get any summons, it doesn't seem to have any. Yeah, I got Arcane for it too. How many Luthers do we have? Oh gosh, how many do we have? I actually disenchanted a lot of them in the past. I think I even disenchanted them when I first started the game, just because the 75 souls was better than owning a Luther. Pretty sure I did that at one point. I believe I did it for the red-yellow guy too. I think that was like a really big newbie mistake that a lot of people made. Though at the time it didn't really matter as much. And souls were really ridiculously hard to come by at the time. Like about 50 times to 100 times rarer than they are now. That's funny that that creates one random Doom Skull. It is just so random of a thing to do, but hey, never know. Maybe we'll get something out of it. How little nerf was that? Not an extra turn. Well, let's go throw this down onto all the green there. Move all that over. Looks nice. Grab that. Purple. Grab Skull. Anything else? We'll grab that. Okay, let's go max out souls. Get all the reds we need. Why does that take so long? And Hero lives. And this was the other big problem that comes up with her. If she doesn't double cast, she's not worth it. And that is quad cast right now. I believe one of them was on barrier, so I guess that technically doesn't count, but still a triple cast. Oh, what am I doing? I could have taken that skull there. Oh well. No free skull, but we can just... Oh wait, what am I doing? She already lost her barrier to burn or something. There we go. You have exactly 100. Let me see what my count is. We're going to be getting another 3 very soon. Let's see, how many Luthers do we have? My guess is... I don't even know how many epics I have of stuff. I want to say 123. Ooh, a little higher. We'll have almost 150. We're currently sitting at 145 Luthers. That is a lot of Luther. A lot of useless Luther. And we're about to get another 3 copies of him to join the useless pile. Hey, he's actually using the new weapon. I haven't really bothered using the new weapon much. Wow, whoa. He has a +10 new weapon. What level are you? Oh, no wonder. Level 1406. I was going to say, who on earth has the resources to max one of these weapons in the current economy of the game? That costs like 2,000 to 3,000 gems to max that thing. His guild must be going for leaderboard or something. Yeah, we are frozen on yellow, so why am I going to do that? I was about to go cast even though we're frozen. Fail. That would have been a fail. Okay, I might just get the skull here, because it has a higher durability than anything else. Or it is for free. All does is create a Doom Skull. I'll let him have it. Oddly enough, that actually gives him the free hit right there. I think I actually just lost. This team falls apart as soon as we lose Alchemist. Because our entire team is kind of based around that. Yeah, we'd even get the gold. Never mind, we retreat. Retreat! Yeah, the team's, I guess, okay. Gets the job done. As far as the new Mythic is concerned, it seems pretty decent for her relative to other options. It is dependent on this hero class, though. If you don't have this hero class, you don't have Red Storm. Well, there are a few other things that do Red Storm, too, but they were just temporary. This is the only hero class that can really consistently keep it up. Plus, it does that at the beginning of each turn, so you always have it regardless. Did I finish Bounty? Yes, we got a purple orb from it. And with that purple orb, that does technically mean we made profit off the bounty. Not much profit, but still profit. It was almost... we actually would have lost value, I believe, if we didn't get the purple orb there. But we ever so barely got a little bit extra. Or, you know, a little bit of actual profit from it. Could have gotten a lot better, but oh well. Our orbs ended up being green and purple for the major orbs for it. And the smaller ones were like all smaller greens with one orange and one purple. How can you make your troops mythic fast? There's really no way of doing it other than orbs, and generally you don't want to waste orbs on anything that isn't from legendary to mythic, because normally it's not worth it. So if you have them ascended to legendary already, it would be worth it. But if not, it's not really worth doing. The larger orb should be saved for things that are really hard to obtain, and the ore for Zugoth, which is also technically hard to obtain. But and the smaller orbs should mainly just be used on things to ascend them from legendary up to mythic. It doesn't mean you specifically have to use them on legends, just anything that's currently ascended up to the legendary rarity you want to get up.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
I probably shouldn't be taking these higher stats, because they normally have enough to outlive 2 hits. Yeah, he has enough to outlive 2 hits. Most likely. Depends how many reds are on the board. Okay, that didn't get anywhere near full mana. Let's see. Let's try that again. Get a nice Alchemist on the board again. That should be everything we need, kind of. Throw that over. Nice, nice. Get a Moneylender. That should be everything. Then we just cast it twice, and that's a match. Nope, not after that buff it isn't. Okay, it is going to be another triple cast. Oh, let's move that over. Move that over. Cast it down again. That. Grab ourselves another Alchemist and probably just do it onto purple there. Good Moneylender going. And that's outside of Corvash range. Luckily he doesn't even hit the right target. But somehow still not dead. And down it goes. Yeah, generally the answer to getting more of everything is just be getting into a good guild eventually. And the easiest way to get into a good guild is to have every single kingdom upgraded to level 10. Have every single kingdom to 5 stars. And have like 90% of the troops in the game. And be over level 1000. If you can do all those things, you can get pretty much into any guild in the entire game as long as you can do the requirement. And there's some of them that have ridiculously high resource gains. But pretty much any guild that gets every single task completed every week is fine. from a resource perspective. Anything less than that's pretty bad, though. At least in Endgame, anyways. There's some people who don't have as much time, they do go for the smaller guilds, though. But you generally at least want one that will give all tasks per week, if not more. No, apparently there's still only a really small amount of guilds that do that. I think it's only about 2 to 3%, based on the achievement that is corresponding to getting all tasks done in a given week. And even then, whatever that percent is less than the number of guilds that it can actually do it. Just because you only have to do it once to have that achievement. That doesn't necessarily mean it's how many guilds there are, or percent-wise the guilds. Also, every single time, it's 30 potential people too, not just one. So yeah, I guess actually really only about 1% of guilds then. I didn't even think about it like that, but yeah. It's probably only about 1% of guilds even get all tasks done. But it is something to highly consider when getting later into the game. Because you only need every single person in the guild gaining about 500,000 something gold. I forget the exact value. I think it's 523,000. It's something a little bit above 500,000. But that's ridiculously easy to get this late in the game. We can get that amount of gold in like 3 hours if we were just doing PvP properly the entire time. Why am I denying my red? I removed like 7 red from the board. This hero just does not want to go down. Alchemist, can you do anything relevant? Yes, you can do it on blue. Get all that going. Get another moneylender. Get a, I guess we'll throw it down. And just throw it into a baby dragon or a skull. Apparently a skull, never mind. Apparently a baby dragon. Or an alchemist. He didn't actually kill it. We can actually just alchemist in the skull. Or just moneylender her to full. And dead. Oh, I should have done it with baby dragon. Hello. Fire bombs, easy. Free loot. Take every skull we see, and that's it. Oh, okay. Let's take that skull over. Grab the other one. Should I just go for the baby dragon? No. I'll take the mid-range one. Still pretty much just as easy. Oh, we get even more loot from it. If you max your guardian troops, do they drop from the drop chart? You mean from seals? No. Well, kind of. You need to get all 6 of the guardians to Mythic with 4 copies remaining. At minimum, at least 4 copies. And as long as you have 4 copies and all 6 of them at Mythic, they will stop dropping. But once you get one of them maxed, it will not stop dropping. It'll only stop dropping once all 6 of them are maxed with 4 copies. But yes, it is possible to get it to the point where you no longer get them in a drop table. Like if I go open guild chests right now, it'll be basically like opening gem keys. Should be basically the exact same loot as gem keys. Because normally you have 50% chance that it's going to give you guardians, and the other 50% is just whatever the chest drop's going to be. But whenever you finally have them all upgraded to Mythic with 4 copies, it just makes every single drop an actual troop based on the chest level. So you're basically getting half more loot than you normally would from them, which makes them pretty decent value. Like I said, basically it just makes them like gem keys in late game, essentially. Why does Cedric get hit by fire bombs in casual PvP when he's supposed to be stealthy? Because a stealthy only works against single target. AoE and things that specifically hit other things do not, or basically just ignore stealthy. The only thing that will specifically not ignore stealthy are things that you actually manually have to target onto the enemy. So for example, on this team right here, this would not be avoided by stealthy because it hits all enemies. So it'll just automatically hit stealthy. This stealthy will work against because he specifically has to target something. So whatever has stealthy on our team, he will not be able to hit. This will not dodge, or whatever this hits cannot be dodged by Stealthy, because it automatically hits the healthiest enemy, and it doesn't care if that healthiest enemy is stealthy or not, it will hit it. And Sapphira Stealthy will work against, because it has to specifically target something, which means Stealthy will dodge it. But anything that's a full AoE, or hits 2, or does adjacent damage, or does split damage, or does AoE damage to everything, or anything like that, Stealthy will not work against. Only if they specifically have to target it. Let's see, does he have a Stealthy right now? No. I was gonna say, I could show it off with this, because this would always hit something even if it has Stealthy. Oh, there we go. Case in point, these things. So these things have Stealthy, but we'll always be able to hit it with this, because it hits all enemies. It's not specifically targeted. I don't have any targeted ability to show the fact that we can't hit those two, but we can hit that. But if we were to use a single target cast ability, we can't hit either of those, but we can hit that one. But if we just use an AoE like hers, it'll be able to hit both of them, even though they have Stealthy. Generally, the best way to keep something stealthy safe would be to give something stealthy and submerge. That makes it immune to a lot of things, because it can't be hit by split damage, AoE, and a lot of stuff. I think the only things that can specifically still hit it would be adjacent damage, things that hit 2 things, or 3 things, and that's almost about it as far as damage sources that can actually hit that. It's not a mechanic I've used too often, just because there's not too many good teams that can actually do that properly. But, yeah, Submerged Stealthy is actually not too bad of a mechanic. Nothing has it really viably at the moment, though. But we'll probably see it in the future. Like on a Mythic or something, or Legends. Hey, gained another level. We're still ages away before we get anything relevant on this hero class. But, another level. Oh, sorry, you meant fire bombs. I thought you said bomb bots. My bad. But yeah, fire bombs hit a random target. So, yeah, Stealthy won't work against it, since it's not specifically targeted. Okay, we'll take that red, get another Alchemist down. Where do we throw it? I guess on brown, that'll be full mana for that. Grab a little bit of poke in there. See if we can just get it, like the red surge there, and then we just throw right to Alchemist. Don't get a convert, but it's only on heroes, so that means very little. The only thing that's doing is creating a red storm, and we still have it in play, so it's not going to matter. I say that, yeah, it's probably going to matter once he starts healing spam. Because we only have, oh no! My storm! Her damage! Her one weakness. A storm. No, she actually has a lot of weaknesses. But, yeah, that makes her way, way weaker, and I have no way of replacing it since hero is now converted into nothing. Well, there goes our damage source. What do we even do with this? I guess we moneylender into him and just start spamming Grim. Plan B, Grim spam time. How did that not actually turn? Oh, he still have 1 burn. So we might be able to make this work. Hey, he actually got an extra turn. Okay, let's try getting our loop backs to feed him reds. Make sure not to convert out purple since we needed it. There we go. Hey, see, we can kind of loop with this. It's really clunky, but backup plans. I'll throw this down. Get that rolling. For another Grim. Actually got a kill. How much damage is he doing? I think it's a lot less because he got summoned in. Yeah, he's only level 10, not level 20. That would explain why it feels like he's doing so much less damage. Because he is doing so much less damage. Not necessarily half, but definitely doing like a good chunk, like at least like 6 stat less, I think, or 10, or somewhere around there. Excuse me. Okay, let's take a scroll there. He'll keep buffing up. That's actually pretty sad. She can't, or never mind. It's not even her anymore. But, yeah, that's actually pretty sad. I can't even keep up with this thing's life gain at the moment because he keeps converting everything over. And now we don't have anything proper to actually deal damage with. And now, sadly, she could actually win just because it takes too long to actually kill her. It's been a while since I've lost a battle by that means. But, I don't know, it's shaping up to kind of look like that right about now. Where the only reason we lose is because it does, it gains durability quicker than we can deal damage. We should be able to get it here. All we need is one skull. If this messes up and gives us a skull before it gets full mana, we win. Still have Moneylender, let's go for it. Nice, dead. There we go. Wow, that was an annoying battle. Almost our entire team wasn't even the original team by the end of it as well, other than Moneylender. What do we take here? None of it looks good. Actually, yes it does. Take that red. Then we'll probably just take another red and go from there. So we'll take the top one, get a nice alchemist location somewhere. It's probably on... Hey, that was what I was going to do. Probably on purple until he did it. Okay. How many reds is that? 14. Should be able to land that. They're in really weird locations, but there's enough that it should land, and it does. I'll throw that down. He'll get a really good alchemist, but I can't really stop that. Luckily, he also sets us up for a really good alchemist by doing the same. And dead. Yeah, I guess we'll go all the way to tier 1 with using the new Mythic. Might as well. Might as well. Then we'll probably head back to maps. The dreaded maps. No, they're not that bad. Their loot's pretty decent during the during these events. I would advise doing it. It doesn't really take that long. It's a bit tedious. I will throw that down on the purples there. Grab a... I don't even know what I want here. Because I'll give him red. We'll stick a yellow then and throw a Moneylender down. Should be enough gold to get it. Oh, what am I doing? We already had the mana for the other thing. I didn't need to do that. But at least we got more reds on the board. We'll do that. Dead. You're in a Doom facing a team you can't mana drain. What do you think works well against that? You're using Mang, Succubus, Mana Drain, Divinia, and Barghest. I would normally say Barrier, but, or Entangle. Well, it depends. What is the biggest threat on their team that's really going to be killing you? But, Entangle and Barrier generally are pretty nice to use. Cockatrice would normally be one of those options, but you're restricted to red. Biggest issue is red doesn't really have much of either. It doesn't really have any entangles, and it doesn't really have any barrier. There are a few options, but almost every single red barrier option is like legend or mythic. Like things like Dawnbringer, Storm Shield, stuff like that. What is the best team to use for Tower of Doom? The current one of red? I've been using... I'll go show the team real quick. We'll do it right after this battle. We've already completed it out. There's not much of a point in doing it beyond level 25. Once you reach 26, there's no point in going any further. Unless your guild happens to have not completed all tasks yet. Or, you know, all objectives, whatever they're called. Anyways, let me go show it real quick. Let's backtrack. Or portals, dooms, whatever they're called. Whatever the little categories are. Let's go take our tribute. What do we get from this? Come on, gems. 9, not too bad. Okay, let's go and what I'm looking for guild. I'm looking for Tower of Doom. So, team we've been using is this. Yasmin's Pride, Divinia, Ketris Death. And we've only lost once, I believe, the entire time with this. And lost 0 Vow Ravens. Maybe twice we've lost. But it was normally to like the really, really annoying stuff. As well as one that had Death Mark immunity where we had to replace out Death for something else. But, yeah, if you don't have Ketris, replace it with Yagwe. If you don't have Death, replace it with Queen Titania. Unfortunately, there's not a proper replacement for Yasmin's Pride in this particular team. Though I guess technically you could use Mang. And as far as Divinia, there's no replacement for that. Basically, both of these don't have a proper replacement, particularly Divinia. Actually, I guess particularly both of them. But at least this does have some somewhat replacements. Divinia, not so much. Because you need her for her cleanse, you need her for her random stats effects that can also barrier and stuff like that. And you also just need her for her life gain, which boost ratios, things like Ketris, Yagwe, Def, and a few others. Even that Taurus guy that does split damage, it would end up boost ratio. There's quite a few of them. But anyways, let's go and finish off PvP. and then head back to the map hunt, because we still have quite a bit to go with that. Actually, I should probably switch back into a key team or something. I mainly just wanted to show this just for messing around with it. Obviously, I don't really intend to use this much as an actual team. I would sooner use Alchemist, Moneylender, Queen Titania, Yagway before that. Or sorry, Yagway, Queen Titania. Reverse order. Okay, what do we need here? Let's grab Brown. Grab that off the top. Let's Skullus, it's fine. Alchemist, anything that's extra turn, which is currently nothing. Though I probably should still cast it, so we'll do that onto Brown, I guess. Because it's better than nothing. And that gives us gold we need the Moneylender. And then we Moneylender. And then we throw this down for huge damage. Get a good Alchemist in there. Throw it on like blues. And then we throw Alchemist onto like Brown or something. Get a good another money. And he's dead off AoE. Which one? We'll take the higher battle. Never mind. Nope. I see barrier and we skip. Not with this team. We don't have any way to proc away barrier. We don't even have the spell or anything off a hero. Take the res. Grab our Alchemist cast onto Brown there. Get all the yellows we need. Everything else we can kind of just keep there. Get another AoE. Oh, that was actually one shot. Very nice. Is the new Mythic good? In very early game, she'd be decent. Like Dragon Soul level decent. But later in the game, she's kind of useless. We're still messing around with her some just because she is newer. But I wouldn't really advise it. If you're above level 500, there's almost no need in ever using her. There's a lot of other troops that do basically the same thing, either better or, yeah, basically just better. They have slightly different requirements, but they have way easier requirements than what she has. I was expecting that to reach full mana. Luckily, we just take that and did. Oh, sorry, next Mythic. My bad. I actually forgot what the next Mythic is, and I don't have the page up for it at the moment. Let me see. I should have it linked in description. Upcoming troop info. Which I forgot what the next Mythic even is. Let me go double check. Let's see. Paste that in there. What do we have? Where's next Mythic? Next Mythic is... where is next Mythic? February... There it is. Let's see. Blue, red, yellow. 24 mana cost. Deal magic plus 5 splash damage to an enemy and stun all affected enemies. Oh yeah, I remember this one. And deal 2 times damage if your attack is greater, then summon 1 to 3 Monkey Disciples. So basically, it's kind of like the same premise, except based on attack of the most recent Mythic we got, except it actually has the good effect of being able to triple stun, which is a nice alternative to things like Corvash and stuff. Though we are getting a new hero class next week that's actually going to be able to stun like a Corvash. So I don't know if you'd really need this Mythic, given that we're already getting another option for it. As far as his unique trait, he does steal 1 magic from the first enemy at the start of every turn, which is pretty bad. That's very, very low. That needs to be like 2 or 3 for that to even be viable, especially since it could eventually run out of magic. But no, it seems pretty underwhelming for the most part. The only really nice thing about it is the Monkey Disciple summon. It's a 100% chance, and it could theoretically do 3 of them. And Monkey Disciple does feed all of its mana back into him, due to it requiring red and yellow, which is both the 2 colors that Monkey Disciple creates. He doesn't have a boost ratio based on HP, but you would get HP off a Monkey Disciple. It's kind of weird that it's not based on his HP, and it's based on his attack and not his HP. Because I don't know how high his base attack is going to be, but I assume it's going to be pretty high, because if it's not, How on earth is he going to have higher attack than anything? You'd have to specifically attack buff him, which would kind of be pointless because you'd have to waste an entire troop just to get his boost ratio. But no, it seems pretty average. Nothing too over the top. The new hero class is probably going to be stronger than the new Mythic. The new hero class next week. And it's probably not even going to be anything too exceptional to hero class either. But, yeah. That's pretty much everything. The rundown on the Mythic. It's basically another skippable one, most likely. I don't really see any real use for it that's going to be worth using. Check also Adana's Mythic, sure. Which one is Adana? There it is. Brown, green, red. Natina 9000. It's another 24 mana cost troop. It deals magic times 2 plus 8 true damage to 3 random enemies. Whoa. And gain magic times 2 plus 8 armor. Weird. And as far as its traits, it has spell block for 50% spell reduction. And it has electrified, which is its unique trait, which does add 50% damage of armor to skull damage. Okay. So it's basically like that skull trait done correctly based on its armor. Plus it gains armor off its ability. Problem is, it's the entirety of its hits are physical, even though it's doing true damage. But that's not too bad. 3 random enemies. I assume it doesn't multi-hit. But 3 random enemies for that much true damage is going to be about, what, like 335s approximately of true damage. And then it gains a really high amount of magic, similar to whatever it just did in true damage. I mean, did I say magic? I meant armor. And then it does 50% of its armor as skulls. So if it has 100 armor, it's doing 50 additional damage. It's not too bad. Well, that's actually pretty decent. If you summon a troop with Necromancer trait, do you get more souls? I don't believe so. I believe it just triggers at the beginning of battle now. I believe they changed how it used to interact, and now it just interacts at the end of battle. I believe the main reason they did that was because you could just mass summon with undead summons and other similar stuff to just keep getting infinite necromancy, basically. Yeah, it only triggers at the beginning of battle. Like Jinx and stuff like that. Let's see. Take that down. Grab a red. Let's let him hit us with a skull. It's fine. Get a big hit, and I should just kill it. Alright, let's switch into a real team now. Kaki! Just to finish it out with. We're not using the right hero class, but still gonna get it done quicker. Once you craft 2 Fairish Raws, what would be your next top 3 mythics? Infernus, if you don't already have it. And everything beyond that starts getting really situational based on what you want. Really, the only really required mythics to normally have, though there are a lot of them that are good, but the only real required ones are 1 or 2 Fairish Raws and Infernus. Everything else is basically optional based on what kind of things you want to use. I would probably say World Breaker and one other would probably be the next 2. Trying to think of what would be after World Breaker. Which is everything mythic-wise is generally really situational. Like, Megavore is not bad. It's really insanely good in Delves. Weaver these days isn't bad. Queen Aurora on that thing isn't too bad. It's works really good for Guild War days. You can do it based on kingdom upgrades too. So, for example, Guard's Avatar could be decent. It's basically like the Mythic they just released today, or yesterday, I mean. Plus, it has the capability of upgrading White Helm, the best tribute kingdom in the game, as well as the highest starred kingdom in the game. No, definitely not Plague. Plague is useless. Pretty much all the Horsemen of the Apocalypse are useless. Not even because the troops are useless, but because they're associated to no kingdom, which means they're never going to be needed in the current state of the game to ever upgrade a kingdom. So they have a lot less value than a normal any other Mythic. Even something like Storm Shield that's normally pretty useless is better value than the best of the, like even like a Death, you wouldn't want to go for over top of it. Mainly because the Storm Shield would actually be used to get a 10-star kingdom. So even if you don't use the troop itself, you're actually still getting value out of it. Hello, Alex. Welcome. Oops, I took that brown, not even... Oh, no! Ah! I took that one brown, not even realizing if we were frozen or not. But then I took a 3 instead of taking the 5 times fail. That happens sometimes. Let's go destroy this with skulls if we can. No, it looks like we'll have to waste a key on it. The extreme overkill, but oh well. Just gotta deal with hero. Hey, we got another map. Look at that. We'll go replace all of our maps already that we've been using for the event. Get them all within seconds. Okay, let's kill that up. And there we go. Okay, back to the treasure hunt then. Back to the treasure hunt. Let's see, a bunch of tier rewards. We'll go grab them once we go do the redeem code. Actually, I don't know, we'll do the redeem code in a little bit. Oh no, I just realized I don't have my redeem code on copy-paste anymore. I need to go find where I have it hidden. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let me go hand out the redeem code. I have it buried now. Now that I don't have it on copy-paste. Also, I'm using a different browser right now. I don't even think I have autofill on the forum at the moment. Oh, you know what I can go do? I can just use the email. I think she sent it through email this time. So I can just copy-paste it from there as soon as I find where on earth that email is. Hey, Patreon! Thank you! Did you finally actually give me my money? It's been holding my payments for like 4 months now. Let's see. Thank you, Patreon, for actually doing what you're supposed to do. Wow, that took ages. I don't know why, but they've been withholding my payment for like 4 months, and it's been like ridiculously annoying to try to fix that, but they finally fixed it. Another support system that's just awful. Not as bad as YouTube's. Not as bad as YouTube's. I'll give them props for that. But it's pretty bad. Okay, where on earth is this email? This is why I get the codes beforehand, but I accidentally overwrote my copy-paste, and I didn't copy-paste it anywhere else. Fail. Where is it? I need a better organization system for them. I just need like a text-based document and just keep them all in there. Just so it's so much quicker to get them whenever I need. And if I just have a notepad in the background, that's not going to use anything really. Where is this email? It should be right around here. Why don't I see it though? Let's see. One moment, sorry. But we'll have a code once we find it. Let's see. Why is it hiding from me? Seriously, why is it hiding? Okay, plan B. I believe it's on the forum as well. But to get there, I have to go and open up the other browser. Because I don't think I have it auto-saved on this browser, almost guarantee. And I actually completely forget what my password is. haven't had to use it for this specific thing for like 2 years. So I would have to completely reset the password and that would take a while as well. Okay. Let's see. Come on, Chrome, load. But we'll have a code in a minute. Also, I can't even see chat at the moment. Why is this taking so long to load? Everything's so much slower to load whenever I'm streaming. Because it's trying to prioritize the stream over everything else. Let's see. Go to there. Now I just need to wait for it to load. There's the game code section. That's not what I need though. Let's see. Any moment now. Okay, where's the game code section? Should have it on the... There it is. Found it. Now I just need the page to load. Let's see. And then just go down and scroll down all the way to it. And edit. Make sure I know I marked it, because I don't believe I marked it earlier. Where'd it go, where'd it go, where'd it go? Scrolling all over the place, and there it is. All of this just to get a code. But it's worth it. Okay, mark it. And just copy it. Oops, I used a different marker than what I normally use. There we go. It doesn't matter that much though. Anyways, save that, X out all this. Make sure it's actually on my copy paste. That'd be a fail if not. Let's see. Yes, it is. And that should be the code that works. Get rid of all this now just so it doesn't lag the stream at all. And there we go. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go get the URL thingy thing. Copy, copy, paste, paste. And there you guys go. There's the redeem code. Sorry that took a little bit longer than normal. But there's the redeem code. Used on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code is found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says there is what you put in. Works on every platform except for the console versions. Redeem code is what you see right over there above me, as well as in chat. Just copy paste it, the 10-letter thingy with a bunch of numbers and everything. It is case sensitive and all that. Just click the link right there, or go to gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. And it gives the same loot as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, and 2,500 gold. There you guys go. And let's just claim all these, all of our PvP tiers that we haven't grabbed yet, which is basically all of the PvP tiers. Except for 1, because I think it normally gives 46 glory keys, not 45, so it seems like I already claimed a few. But there we go. Always good to do this every single week. Quite a bit of glory keys you get from them. But anyways, back to the treasure hunt. We still have a ways to go on the current event, and I do want to finish that before the end of this stream. One way or another, we will be finishing this. So, yeah, let's keep working towards it. It shall be done. It must be done. Plus, we can get it done together. Because I'm pretty sure most of you have delayed this too, unless you're like really early game. Where maps are actually very useful and fun. Because they're actually useful.
Extra turn.
Does it? Oh, sorry, I didn't read so much chat when I was finding the code. Is there anything coming in the... Oh, wait, sorry. I didn't read the first one. Oh, you just faced me in PvP. Nice. I think I'm still using triple firebomb with the Jewel Gnome, if I'm not mistaken. Or something similarly weak. Is there anything coming in the future with the game that you're actually excited about? Well, we don't know many of the new features that are coming in this particular year. So, I'm not quite sure. So, no, I'm not really sure. I think the most exciting thing from the most recent year was the hero class changes. That actually made hero class into pretty much the best thing in the entire game. Like, even better than most Mythics. The one where they ended up adding all the perks and everything. The ingot system and everything came with it too, but that wasn't really as well made as the perk system. Perk system still needs a little bit of adjustment too. But the fact that you can actually go get that leveled up and everything, it was something I suggested to them ages ago too. And it's nice to see that they finally implemented like some form of it. But yeah, it's probably the main thing that I was excited about last year. But we really don't normally know too far in advance what's going to be happening. So it's hard to really get excited about a specific thing since, well, we don't know. And even if they do somewhat mention something, it doesn't always happen. Like, for example, hero class changes that they've been talking about for a while. That might not be, that might be coming next patch. But it's been talked about for almost a year now. A friends list being added to the game was talked about for like 2 years. There was even a button in the game for like a year that was grayed out saying coming soon. And then it never came due to some reason. I guess some kind of technical issues with it. But that's still something we could potentially get. And really, if there was anything that I would absolutely love to see in this game, some kind of real-time PvP. Even if it's just a single game mode, and only that game mode is the only instance of it. There needs to be some form of it I would love to see. I highly doubt they would do that, though. The game isn't really structured to do that. And they would need to, if they were to do it, it would take a lot of resources and time on their part. But I don't know. I think the game, if it grows big enough, could definitely use it. Well, definitely could use it. It's just, if it's financially viable for them to do it is the question. And I really wish they would. They did say if they were to do it, they would most likely just do it as a whole separate game, but I don't know. I think it could be implemented within the game, at least to some degree, but we'll see. It's probably something that will never happen, but it's not off the table of literally never happening. It's just very unlikely. Their other big concern with it too is how mobile will fend with it, because mobile is pretty much the biggest base of the game, or should be the biggest base of the game. They never give out numbers, but to my understanding, based on what they said in the past, it is the highest of any platform, if you count just the mobile versions. But there's normally, of course, issues with connection if you're trying to do multiplayer with, you know, like real-time multiplayer with phones. Anyways, is it worth it to get all delves up to 500 or keep farming around 100? Keep farming around 100. You should get every single one to 500 except for the one you want to farm. In the current state, the game warns is the absolute best one to farm. Alternatively, next best is Crypt. But yeah, the most recent faction that came into the game is currently the best faction to actually grind, which is why we've been grinding it. I've been doing it at 110 just because that's what was required for us to get that extra HP immediately. But you can farm it at pretty much whatever level you want. Normally, it's around about 90 or so that you end up farming it at. And the main reason for that is that's enough to get done every single one of the events, every single Tuesday, whenever it pops around, while still keeping it low enough that it's easy to complete. Mine, I currently camp at 110. But that's just because we needed it that high to get the extra HP. But yeah, if anyone else has any other questions, let me know. They're pretty easy to get to while doing treasure hunt. It does slow down treasure hunt rate a little bit, but it's pretty chill, that's for sure. There's not much going on otherwise. Just treasure hunt, unfortunately, doesn't have too much variation. It's something that it might be tweaked in the future, though. They have made mention of a arena and a treasure hunt rework this year. That's going to be a pretty fun update, though I don't know if they're actually going to be changing gameplay a lot. It's probably just going to be resource rate. But if they actually change how the gameplay works for these, that'd be an insanely interesting update. But I don't have high hopes for it. I have really low expectations with what they'll actually do with it. But you never know, maybe they'll do something amazing with it. I'm just not really expecting anything. Happy New Year, Christy. Welcome. Also, it seems like they're going down the monetization path this year of doing a lot of really, really small purchases. So, yeah, we'll see how that pans out. Currently, their most recent one actually isn't that bad. That one that's still available for another day in a few hours. That one for $2 for 100 gems. I obviously personally don't need it. But I don't know, if I was like just starting the game, that actually wouldn't be too bad. Especially since that's not really much of a commitment, only like $2 for 100, and that can kind of get you rolling a bit. But I don't know, it's that seems like what they're planning on doing, because they must be making quite a bit less money recently just because of all the bad purchases they've been adding. Because they've been adding a lot of purchases that just aren't worth it. Like, they were probably seeing the numbers for the those 24-hour things whenever you get a new troop, and seeing that basically no one is bothering to buy them. So they figured they'd try some other plan. Which makes sense. Free-to-play games do have to make money somehow. It's just in the past they've been notoriously bad at giving actual good value for the money you spend. With a few key exceptions here and there as far as what was actually good, like Death Knight, Daily Gems, stuff like that. And a few others. Is the Mythic of Undying any good? No. It's really only used on Blue Guild War Day, either as a counter troop or normally as a counter troop on Defend, but sometimes evasionly. Is that even a word? Evasively. But yeah, I wouldn't really bother with him for the most part. Undying's normally pretty underwhelming. If you are going to build a team around him, you build it around Azura plus him. You would normally only use it on Blue Guild War Day, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, Undying's pretty underwhelming, unfortunately. Unless you're up against a really heavy blue team, or you're using a really heavy blue team, there is almost no point in using him. What are my top 3 favorite classes? Titan as absolute favorite, Thief, and third is probably a hard choice. I actually don't know what my current third would be. But definitely top 2 are Titan and Thief. Probably Assassin, not even because Assassin's the third best, but because Assassin, thematically, I just like how it works. It's probably one of the more unique hero classes as far as what it has going for it, as far as the theme of the hero class. But, because it's one of the only few that gets, like, a really, really heavy focus. Like, of course, he's just all in on skulls. Most of the other hero classes, while they do get a focus, they don't get as heavy of a focus thematically as what Assassin does. Like, when you're playing Assassin, it actually feels like you're playing an Assassin. More so than probably any of the other typings. Yeah, those would be my 3 favorite. But we'll probably be getting a lot more. That might be my favorite in the near future. Who knows? We're getting another one per month. We're getting another one next Friday. Do you know the drop rate of Cedric? I believe it's about 1 in 10 or 1 in 15. Though there's no confirmation on its drop rate, so it could be anything. But from my experience, it's around 1 or 10 or 1 in 15. Somewhere around there. Though I think people have gone like 50 without getting one. Oh, you went 100 without getting one. That is insane. But, yeah, it happens. But in my experience, it is about 1 in 10 or 1 in 15. And if it's taking much longer than like 20 or 30, that is extremely bad luck. Should you focus on leveling the troops to power up the kingdoms, or troops you actually think are powerful to use? You start by doing the ones that you think are powerful to use, and then once you have enough teams that you feel like you have enough good teams, you then start doing based on kingdom upgrades. But initially, you should only be getting troops that are actually good, and then start focusing on that are actually needed for kingdom upgrades. Yeah, generally once you have about, oh no, stream went down for a second. Come back, stream! Come back! There we go, it's back. Sorry about that. Stream went down for like 6 seconds. But, yeah, once you feel like you have like a really solid teams for basically everything, is when you start going out of your way to actually focus power levels. So when you feel like you have a proper team for all 6 of the Guild War Color Days, which also means you have teams for all the Dooms, which means you have teams for all the Delves. Pretty much once you reach that point, you're good to go to start doing whatever you need for kingdom upgrades. But anything prior to that, you'd generally want to stay away from it, just because you'd probably get more value from doing, from actually getting proper good troops. The only few exceptions to that is if you can get 10 stars, because of course with 10 stars you do end up getting the whole extra stat off of it, and that could potentially be good. Like for example, when Starkstone ends up reaching 10 plus stars and ends up getting a magic bonus, it's going to be highly advised to have Possessed King, even though, or whatever his name, the Possessed King, yeah, the Possessed King is his name, but he's a pretty useless troop, but the upgrade that you get from him is just so good that you go for it. And there's a few other instances like that too. Like I would say Storm Shield is one of those kind of troops, as well as Guard's Avatar. They're troops that are pretty underwhelming to actually use, but they have such good value from a kingdom upgrade perspective that you would generally go for them somewhat early. Guard's Avatar is not completely useless though. Actually, even Storm Shield isn't too useless. He's a good barrier option on Red Day if you have no Dawnbringer. He's essentially just a Dawnbringer, kind of. A weaker version of Dawnbringer is basically what he is, kind of. What's the best way to get gems? Oddly enough, exactly what we're doing right now is the best way to get gems. Assuming you have hundreds or thousands of maps, speeding through Treasure Hunt as quickly as possible and trying to end on as many green chests as possible while doing so is the highest rate of gems that you could possibly get in the entire game, ranging anywhere from about 50 to 70 gems per hour if you do it as quickly as you possibly can, basically exactly what we're doing right now. And during events like this one, you can get even more gems per hour, since you're also getting everything like the 90 gems off the weekly objectives, as well as the 8 gem keys and everything else that it drops. There's a few scraps, the 8 Ulur keys, the 3 Luthers. But yeah, it's insanely good value on these events, where you get to do it for like an hour and a half or so, and you end up getting all those other loots on top of it. But even when it's not the event, still 50 to 70 per hour, plus you're getting other loot while doing it. That's not too bad. They're generally pretty generous with the amount of gems that they have within this game. For a free-to-play game with a premium currency, it's probably one of the most generous formats I've ever really seen for a game. Because many resources can actually be farmed quicker than you can even spend money to obtain them. As you can see, we're getting gems every single time. Normally it's only about 1 gem per map. That's actually a ridiculously lucky one. And also, you can spend all the gold on gold keys and all the glory on glory keys if you want to get even more gems per hour from doing this. And that can get upwards to about 80 gems per hour if you spend literally every resource you get from Treasure Hunt on gem-related stuff. This is generally only really used in early game low. In late game, you can normally get enough just from doing guild tasks and weekly objectives and just playing the game normally, to the point where you don't actually need to go out of your way to do Treasure Hunt, which is why most late game players don't ever bother playing Treasure Hunt even during an event like this. But I don't know, it's still technically the highest gem rate in the game if you want to infinitely farm gems. And they're buffing it sometime next year too. Or this year, I mean. It is next year already. I keep saying that. I've said that so many times. Maybe not even on stream, but just to like friends and other stuff. Like I keep forgetting that it's 2019. Well, it's not that I forget that it's 2019. It's just I keep saying like next year as if it's still the previous year. And then people think I'm like talking about 2020. It's like, oh yeah, never mind. Sorry. I mean this year. Let's see. I'll move that over. Grab all that cascade right there. Get that mess.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Sorry about that. Stream just died again for a little bit. Yeah, generally in free-to-play games like this, people normally just support it because, or you know, people normally spend money just to support the game, more so than anything, just to help with its further development.
Extra turn.
What bounty team am I using for Bounty Hunter? I'm using the Bounty Captain, Parrot, Feral Hound, Yagwe, is what I'm using. I forget what the Bounty Captain this week is called. It's that Damon one that came in. Forget his name.
Extra turn.
I pretty much just stopped trying to remember any of the troops that are normally only around for a week. Because there's really no point. Like, I don't think I can even recall like 10 of the raid or invasion troops, just because I don't really bother ever remembering them, because they are useless after 1 week. This one should give us quite a few gems. We've got a lot of green chests. Need to make sure they don't accidentally get into red chests, though, or else we're going to reduce their value.
Extra turn.
I know, they're getting close. You make sure they don't get next to each other. There we go. There should be several gems. How many did we get? Oh, only one. Oh, that's not the main thing we're here for. I'm just here for the event gems, not the actual physical gems. No more gems are nice.
Extra turn.
Let's see. Possessed King is amazing. It's a good disable. My biggest concern with why I never really use it is it's extremely inconsistent. But it's pretty good even if you're just using it for its final trait, for its double explosion. I don't personally bring him out much though. But he is basically like a Queen Aurora with an offensive ability instead of a defensive ability. That's basically what I consider him as. Though I generally go Queen Aurora because more often than not in those kind of situations I would want to have the more defensive option. Like in delves and stuff, just to make sure we don't die. Or in Guild Wars where it actually matters to have barriers so that we don't reduce our score. But yeah, Possessed King is decent. It's just very situational.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Well, I believe this game actually is the most profitable game they've ever made. It's not the game that Surian, or whatever his name is. I have to forget his name off the top of my head. Steve something. But this isn't the most profitable game he has ever made. But it's on track to be the most profitable game he's ever made. The only reason it's not the most profitable that he's ever made is mainly because he's had games out for a couple decades now. So obviously some of those have made way more money since they've just been out for like 10 times as long. So they're just naturally gonna have made more money. But Gems of War is on track to be the most profitable project he's ever had.
Extra turn.
He mentioned that in the most recent Q&A, the one from December.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
What do we even take here? We'll go take that down. Up, store turn. Grab that, take our gold. And there we go. You buy things you like just to send a message, like you bought the 199 flash sale 5 times because 500 gems for 985 was a lot better than 450 gems over 30 days. Yeah, that's why I ended up mentioning in the other video too. It's one of the few deals they've added in a very, 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 very long time that's actually even remotely worth it.
Extra turn.
It seems like that's going to be a theme that they're going with this year, though. Like, actually doing purchases that are worth it. Because they probably need more money since they've been doing a lot of ones that have probably flopped. Just because they keep overcharging stuff that's not worth it. So now they kind of finally learned. Though, unfortunately, I wish they would go remove all these stuff that isn't worth it, like, whatsoever from the game. Because it makes everything else within the game look bad. If they have, like, these absurdly out-of-range priced objects in it. Like the new upgraded system that they had like a few months ago where it brings up that notification. I don't think I still have that up. But like when we got that new Mythic where it brings up that page to go and get like it fully traded and I think souls for like $35, that is not even remotely worth it. I don't even know if that would be worth it for $10, let alone even $5. Yeah, it's not currently here anymore. But that other deal that keeps coming up with those things are so useless. They're basically just selling like a few orbs for like $35. And they're not even good orbs, just orange and green. Like, we consider that to basically be Warp 0. Yet they charge, like, $35 for it. Anyways, where were we? Continue with maps. Actually, how far are we on event? There we go. We got ourselves a Luther. Got another 140 to go about 134. Oh, we're almost at the halfway point. Let's keep continuing. We're almost there. It's going to be worth it when we get the gems and keys. We still have about like 180 gems worth of loot, and that's not even counting what we get from the treasure hunt itself in the next half an hour or so.
Extra turn.
I know, compared to other publishers these days, their monetization system looks like the most perfect thing in the world. Though I don't normally follow too many games that actually have microtransactions in it like that. Which is kind of weird that I even do Gems of War. It's one of actually the first few games that I've ever actually even really played for a very long duration that does have microtransactions. But they did it in a nice enough way that it doesn't feel like the game has microtransactions. They're more so optional than mandatory. Except for maybe Death Knight Armor. That's like the one exception in this entire game. Because that gives free scouting plus the best armor in the game that can't be obtained by any other means. So that's one of the other reasons why Treasure Hunt is so popular in early game and so unpopular in late game. None of your bonuses actually apply to Treasure Hunt. Your VIP bonus, your armor bonus, difficulty bonus, nothing. None of that applies to Treasure Hunt. So the best value that you'll always get from Treasure Hunt is basically when you immediately start the game with like essentially no bonuses at all. And the worst time would be super end game, like where we're at right now. Because not a single bonus actually applies to Treasure Hunt. The only thing that slightly helps you is your starting amount of turns. That is based on the green statue in your guild, and it maxes out at 100, which gives you a total of 14 instead of, I think, 8, I think is a default or something. I don't remember these days.
Extra turn.
Oddly enough, 14 is actually one lower than what Treasure Hunt used to be. At one point, every single map in Treasure Hunt was 15 turns. But then when they added a new system, they not only nerfed it by 1, but you also need to have the statue upgraded. Basically making it so they nerfed it for newer players. That was still insanely good for newer players. Even if you only have 8 map turns, it's still really good loot.
Extra turn.
Your guild gets 40,000 every single Monday without fail. I don't even know when my guild normally gets it. Mainly because a lot of people tend to not claim it or forget to claim it. So we normally don't get it till like Friday. Oh, we got a red chest. Got sabotaged. It's trying to give us more loot by giving us less loot.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Oh, why didn't I take that 5 times? So why am I just not taking the quickest moves? Because that would give us more loot overall than trying to think out what we need to do. Let's see. In the weekly event page, they gave a old weapon you can pick up for $5. It changes every week. Oh, sorry. What was the thing mentioned there? Flash sale never shows up on PS4. I know you were saying that too. Oh, they should add an option to buy with gems or money weapons like Yasmin's Pride or Earth's Fury. They actually do. There's a $5 one that was just mentioned, yeah, by Moomin. Every single week there's a $5 option for one. Unfortunately, it doesn't have like every single one, and there's a lot of them that haven't rotated through that. And it's also a little bit annoying that it's only through money. But they have rotated some of the older weapons through that system. Like right now, I believe that one useless tome weapon is currently available because it's Cinder Mirage week. So that one tome weapon that was available for 1,000 glory a couple months ago is now being sold for $5. It's useless though. Don't bother. Unless you just want it for completion purposes. But some of them aren't useful, obviously. That one is not. Not even for $5. Unless you just really want it to have it. Yeah, Divine Protector, I believe, comes up in Whitehelm or some other event. I don't remember. But yeah, this one over here is pretty useless, the one that's currently available this week. But it's underneath, actually don't even know where it is. It's under a weekly event, and it's all the way to the right. And there's always a $5 weapon here that gives ingots related to the weapon type rarity. So if it's legendary, it gives 6 legendary ones. If it's epic, I believe it gives 10 of the purple epic ones, and so on and so forth. 400 souls, 10 gold keys, 2 event keys. All that's pretty irrelevant. The main thing you'd buy it for is the actual weapon. So this weapon is completely useless. But they sometimes actually do good weapons there. Some of the older ones. But luckily I've been able to get every single thing on release. So we don't have any weapons that aren't unlocked. We actually are one of the only few that actually have all 225. Mainly because you've had to be playing this game since almost day one to realistically actually have all 225. Which is very, very few people. Let's see. Let's go back to Treasure Hunt. I think we're halfway there. But halfway there is not there yet, so we need to keep going. But a good majority of those older weapons are pretty useless. The only problem is some of them are really, really good. Like Yasmin's Pride is probably one of the best, if not the best, Tower of Doom weapons. If you can actually use something that has an HP boost ratio, which every single event so far has actually had. But what's the problem though is, yeah, a lot of people don't have it because it was a pretty useless weapon upon release that didn't really have a proper use. Same thing happened with Divine Protector. It was released in a state that was near useless. Then they ended up buffing it, plus Divines became meta for a little while. Still are pretty decent, but they became like really, really meta for a short duration. And then just everyone was using Divine Protector. Or everyone who had it. But it happens sometimes. I just really wish they would add it through Soulforge or something. Like, they added this whole Soulforge system and they don't even really use it for much. Soulforge in general still feels really underwhelming. It's a feature that they could do a lot with, but they haven't. Well, they'll probably get around to it eventually. It was one of those pieces of content that did seem like somewhat rushed, just to kind of get it out. And then they never really bothered doing much with it after. Or at least very minimally. And it'd be nice if they do that too, because there's way too many souls in this game. They don't have a proper soul sink. And obviously the Soul Forge, the whole purpose of Soul Forge was to act as a soul sink. But it doesn't really do that properly. And they said that they're going to be adding a Trait Stone sink later this year. I wonder how good that will be. Or if it's not really going to really sync them at all properly. Because that's what Soulforge was supposed to do for souls, and it didn't. So there's a good chance that if they do it for trait stones, it also won't do it properly. But we'll just have to see and wait. We don't even know what it's going to even be remotely used for. But whatever it's going to be used for, we have way more than enough trait stones to probably do it completely. Or at least to a really high degree. What even is our trait stone counts looking like these days? Our trait stone counts are sitting at over 10,000 of every single color for the minors. We have over 8,000 for every single major. We have over 2,500 for every runic. Oh no, over 2,200 for every runic. And we have over 200, almost 250 of every arcane, except for very few. Like that one we have under. Actually, I believe that's the only arcane that we don't have at 250 plus. I need to go to do Explorization later at some point. But yeah, we only have one single trait stone that's not 250 plus out of every single color. And some of them are above 300. And we have almost 1,000 Celestials. There's people that probably have like 10 times that many. Well, maybe not that many. Well, actually, no, Tech9 might have 10 times that many. But yeah, there's a lot of people that have a lot of those. But maybe not a lot of people, but you know, there's a good chunk of people that have absurd numbers of those resources.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
And ever since they added orange orbs too, it only just made it even easier to do all that. Because if you really had to, you could just orb everything.
Extra turn.
Late game players pretty much get enough orbs that they could orb literally every legend and mythic that pretty much comes into the game, and they would still have enough orange orbs. That wouldn't really be worth it. I think really only mythic second and third trait are the main ones that are really worth it. But still, you could technically do that if you really wanted to.
Extra turn.
Because orange are pretty common. They're not as common as green, but they're the second most common that you get from a random orb drop.
Extra turn.
The rarest, of course, is the blue. Do I bother with Ring of Wonder? No. There's no point in using Ring of Wonder this late into the game. Though, if you are mid-game player, and you already have Death Knight, and you maybe want to try getting like VIP 5 or something, it is a pretty good purchase to throw in with attempting to reach VIP 5. Basically, whatever month you plan on like really playing the game for like 8+ hours a day, it'd be a good time to go use it because you get a really decent chunk of extra bonus from doing that. But you would need to make sure you have proper decent teams first, and you would also need to make sure you have a lot of time available on a given month for it to actually be worth it.
Extra turn.
But yeah, it's okay value. You would just have to play a lot to really get the full value out of it.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Greens are 99% chance. No, greens I believe are 35% chance though, which is why they seem so common. And if you count green and orange, I believe it's somewhere around 65 to 75% chance, somewhere around there.
Extra turn.
Which I think is 65. Because I believe greens are 35. I don't know the exact drop rate, but I believe greens are 35, orange are 30, purple is 20, and blue is 15. I believe that math is correct, right? Math. 35, 30, 65, 20. Yeah, that's math is correct. But yeah, I believe that's what the percents are. Not 100% certain on that, though. But there's somewhere around that general ballpark. Where green is the most common and blue is obviously the rarest.
Extra turn.
Yeah, once you get in a good guild, you wouldn't really need Ring of Wonder. The only time I would really say Ring of Wonder would be super worth it is if you're doing the soul grind to finally get Ferrous Raw. It would save you several hours.
Extra turn.
And $20 to save several hours on top of all the other loot it gives would probably be worth it. Like, whatever month you're finally deciding to run, like, double Ferris Raw into Soul Farming to finally go get to finally go get Dawnbringer, or even just a single Ferris Raw team. It would make up for the fact that you don't have a second one.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
We should be at our next reward, which I believe is something amount of gems. Wasn't it like 80 or something? Yeah, let's go claim our gems. Should be ready. And then we just need to go get our last objective. And then we never need to touch gems, or we never need to touch maps again for another month or so. Until they buff it. Or until another event comes around. Whichever comes first. I don't think it's being buffed next patch. It's probably sometime later next year. Or I mean this year. I keep saying that every single time. I always keep saying next year. Anyways, let's go check this. Oh, we haven't reached it yet. How? Really? We're one map off. Okay, well, we'll go do one map, and then we just need 100 more until we get the gem keys. Let's go do one more map, and that'll give us our gems. Oh, that should put us almost above 20,000 again. Bounty Hunter did reduce us below it, of course. But that will repair us right back up. Also, Monday will repair it back up once we get guild tasks, of course. Also, Tribute will repair it over time between today and tomorrow. So we'll probably get back to 20,000 this weekend.
Extra turn.
There we go. That was a really bad map, but luckily we didn't need it to be too good. We just needed 2 more event gems, which is exact enough to go get these gems, which is 50. Oh, I thought it was a bit more than that. That's still nice, 50 gems. But it's actually 90 total. That was the 90 I was thinking of. It's 50 for this one, but 90 total. But, yeah, and then 100 more of those, and we get 8 gem keys, which are basically 9 gems each, which is basically math. 60... 72? Yeah, 72. 72 gems. Okay, well, we'll go start working towards that then. Progress shall continue. Might as well just get it done now. Get it out of the way already. Then we'll probably just go do like a delve or something. Or whatever else you guys want me to go over, just let me know. Or if you guys still have any other questions or anything you want me to go over. Yeah, sometimes I neglect to do these, but I don't know, I probably should start doing them every single time. It's not that much time, and it's pretty decent loot, assuming there's an event for it.
Extra turn.
It's not worth it otherwise, but definitely is worth it these times.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
And there's no other way to get the event objective done other than doing this. Oh, come on, move. You just like getting Major Blue, since they're so good that pretty much no troop feels worth it to use them on. Haha, I do know that feeling. For the longest time, I actually didn't use a single orb. For like 6 months, I didn't bother using a single blue orb, even though orbs were around for the entire time. Yeah, I was really hesitant on ever using them. But then once Kingdom started to reach like 10 plus stars, I started using them. But yeah, as far as a Major Blue, I've never used a Major Blue on anything. Nothing is worthy of it.
Extra turn.
Not even Zugoff. Even once we have enough to craft Zugoff, it's going to be like, is it really worth it? No. But it probably will be, just because of Kingdom upgrade, though. But, he's a pretty useless troop. But, yeah, it always feels bad having to use a blue orb. I don't feel bad using any of the other ones, but blue orb... Actually, I haven't used a purple orb yet, either. But that's mainly because I have so many resources that we really don't need the extra seals.
Extra turn.
I actually have enough purple orbs to max an entire guild from 0 to 40,000 within seconds. If I really wanted to. Obviously, there'd be no point ever doing that. But we could if we wanted to.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Okay, there we go. Oh, come on, one short. We need one more, and we could have gotten the last little bit of loot there. Oh well. Grab that, grab that, grab that. Get a little bit of everything rolling. Hey, set the guild record for seals. Actually, what is the guild record for seals? Because doesn't it actually accumulate over the value with whatever you do with the orbs? So yeah, you could actually get your guild to 40,000 and then spam over top of 40,000. I'm pretty sure the guild record is somewhere in the millions, though, if someone actually coordinated it. Because you would just get it to 40,000 and have everyone dump like their all their orbs on a given week, and then that would boost it up to, let's just say, 50,000 per person. So that would be what, times 30? What is the math on that? Yeah, that's 1.5 million, right? So there's probably been a guild that has done 1 million before. I don't know if any of them have bothered coordinating it like that, though. Because there'd be no point to coordinate that other than to brag that your guild reached 1 million seals. If it even goes that high, I don't even know if the number can go that high. It might just stop at like 5 digits or something. Or 6 digits.
Extra turn. Extra
Okay.
turn.
That is not the way I wanted to move that. Oh well. You have 2 people over 6,000 this week. Yeah, it happens. This week in particular is probably the most common week for it because it's new Mythic. So if anyone's going to open those things up, it's going to be this week. For 2 reasons. One is to make sure the guild has 40,000 if it wasn't already 40,000. And the other is to make sure they actually have enough keys to get the Mythic. Because of course, those basically are like gem keys once you have them upgraded far enough. So obviously people would want to open more gem keys as they're basically the best rate of getting Mythics other than VIP keys. So I don't know if anyone really even bothers with VIP keys these days. They've been pretty underwhelming ever since the new ingot system. And now that we don't need to dump them for kingdoms or anything like that, keys tend to accumulate to a pretty high degree. Because there's no point to... there's a lot less sinks for keys than there was in the past. Mainly because for the longest time, prior to orbs and everything, you basically, every single new kingdom had to go and max everything out. But now you don't really need to as much. Same as all the new troops, you can just throw orbs on them occasionally. You don't necessarily have to go all the way to max it. Even when a new legend comes out for event keys, and you want it to be Mythic, you don't necessarily even have to open all the keys for it. You just go and get 1 copy of it or 2 copies of it, and then you throw a blue orb at it. And then it's done. Is this week's Mythic any good? It's pretty underwhelming. It's mainly an early game kind of Mythic, kind of like how you'd use Dragon Soul and stuff. It's okay with the hero class that has that perpetual red storm Sun Spear. But other than that, in almost every other context, it's not really worth it. Using it with Sun Spear hero class is essentially the only way to properly use it. It just doesn't have a good enough synergy with anything else.
Extra turn.
It is very heavily dependent on having a red storm. Hit without a red storm is basically useless.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Which also means it gets hard countered pretty easily by other various storms, which you have to watch out for. And right on the 50. Nice. Still got a whiles to go, though. I think we're not even at... oh, let's take our tribute. We're so close. Oh. Oh, no. We only had 8 minutes left. I think I already have this max, though. Oh, no, I don't. Go, 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 go. We got 8 minutes. Oh, no. Which means we have about 7 minutes. Gotta go fast. Okay, let's see. What do we need? What do we need? Grab around. There's no way we're gonna reach this array. Oreo. Give us our Oreo. Let's see, 1 down. Got 7 minutes left. Go, 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 go. Gotta do 1 minute per battle. At least we're getting good hero XP for our class right now. Because we are using Sun Spear right now and not a Titan. Which does mean we go slower because I'm not using Titan. We don't even have a half mana start. I don't think we're gonna make it in time. If we had Titan, we could. Oh, there goes the silence. Really? Right when we're trying to go quick. But luckily it cleansed in there immediately. But we're fair to getting any keys. Throw this down. Luckily that's not a silence. There we go. Okay, 6 minutes left. Go, go, go. I think we have until, yeah, about the 7 minute mark of the stream. Or the 2 hour, 7 minute mark, I believe. Is about how much time we have. We might be able to make it, but the later battles go a little bit longer, so probably not. Oh no, we got about 6 minutes, approximately. Try to make it in time. But it's gonna be close. We'll see how it comes down. It's up there in Gargantar's worst mythic. I don't know, that's pretty hard to top Gargantar. Though it is kind of funny, because Gargantar was the worst mythic, was the first mythic to come out last year, and it was the worst mythic that was basically ever added. And now they're keeping to tradition, and they added another worst mythic as the first mythic of this year. I don't know why they like starting so bad. Maybe to give higher expectations for everything else, or I mean lower expectations so that other things look interesting. But I don't know, they did the same thing last year where they added the worst mythic basically of the entire year, or even in the entire game in the case of Gargantar, as the first mythic of the year. But I guess they're just repeating that theme again. Though that's not exactly what they had intended. It was originally going to be for December, and we were supposed to get the Goblin Mythic, which actually would have been really, really good. And it still is, you know, this is the one that came in last month. But it ends up getting switched due to copyright issues with the most recent Mythic that came out today. But there's no copyright issues with it now, but the original artwork with it, there was some kind of issue with it. I believe it looked something too similar to something in Dota 2 or whatever it was. Not sure. But anyways, throw all that, do it again. Go for a key onto it. That'll be enough to not kill the other one. But it shouldn't matter too much, just because we have a decent amount of time left. We should still have 5 minutes. Which, with how many battles we have left, we should be able to reach it in time. We'll find out when it says 0 seconds left. Or it says we've used up all of our battles. Hey, we got 2 maps. Look, we'll even go replenish all of our maps by doing this. Yeah, we should be able to make it. We have like a solid few minutes. It's like 2 minutes per battle. All we need to do is not lose or get silenced. He doesn't even have silence, so okay. Well, that's problem solved. Don't need to worry about getting silenced since he doesn't have one. Yep, let me use that gold first to try to get the kill. Okay, it wasn't enough. Never know. This red storm's getting in the way of our browns, though, because that means we're getting less browns on the board since there's more reds that are falling. Instead, that are overwriting them. There, he dies, but we can still keep his bonus, so it doesn't matter. He means absolutely nothing. Can actually turn off of that. And just need all of our mana again. Nice. And he's dead. Okay, this last battle we have like 3 minutes left on. We should be able to reach it. 2 to 3 minutes. As long as we don't lose it, we should be fine. It looks like we beat the timer. Which makes sense. Normally, pet battles, if you're trying to speed through them as quickly as you possibly can, like if we were actually using Titan and proper team for doing this, I think it takes about 5 minutes. It's gonna take us like about 6-7 this time around, but that's because we don't have half mana start, making it quite a bit slower. Hey, we're entangled. Why'd I take that? It was just a waste of time. Come on, we're on a timer right now. Go, go, go. Get all that destroyed. Do it again. Put a key down and actually get kills for a free turn. Taking those browns manually. Destroy everything. Taking those reds too. Go for it again. Throw a key down. That will not be enough to kill, but that's not the point of it. And now we do it to kill. Oh, come on, cast, go. Go, 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 go. Go. Okay, that should be in time. Okay, we made it. Let's see, how much time do we have left? We had, 2 minutes to spare, so it took us 6 minutes without 50% mana start. That's actually really good for not having half mana start. I'll take it. There we go. Only 1 copy, though. Still need another 11. But, there we go. And we actually do need to upgrade it. That's 1 extra HP on green Guild War days. Also for green Tower of Doom, of course. Well, actually, never mind. No, it wouldn't be for green Tower of Doom, because I forgot. Tower of Doom doesn't actually use pure color. It technically is a restriction of pure color, but your weapon, hero weapon's normally a different color, so you don't actually get the bonus for it. But anyways, let's go and finish out Treasure Hunt. Still got to go do that. See, how far are we? We need another 82, and then we'll be done with it. So basically every 10, we're getting a gem key at this point. But how many we have left? Not every 10 turns, every 10 event gems. It's basically a gem key. So basically every 100 turns. Or every divisible by 10, 100 turns. Yeah, the Iron Gut is really good in Delves. I wouldn't really advise it for PvP as it is a bit slow, but it does work in PvP too. But yeah, Delves and Tower of Doom is its 2 main locations where you use Iron Gut. Nice cascade. Can you do 10 Vault Keys for you to see if you get a Cedric? I don't even have 10 Vault Keys. We had 9 earlier, and I spent 2 of them to do the thing. To do the 2 that we got from Bounty Hunter. Yeah, we don't even have that many at the moment. Also, I would want to save them for when the next gnome comes out. Though I don't know when we're getting next gnome. But I would want to save it for that. The only reason I opened those other 2 was because our loot for Bounty Hunter was looking so bad that I kind of had to claim the keys. Just to feel better about what we actually got, to see what our exact value of Bounty Hunter was. But luckily we got a purple orb at the end that did make us profit from Bounty Hunter. But if we did not get that purple orb at the end, we actually would have lost value from doing Bounty Hunter. Which can happen. It's very unlikely, but it is possible that you actually lose resources from completing Bounty Hunter. But yeah, if we open 10 of them, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't actually get a Cedric. Though I do believe I have 9 spare copies of him. We have him Mythic, and we have 9 spare copies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we got a little bit unlucky with him. Though then again, I guess you could kind of consider it unlucky. Because every single time we get a Cedric beyond having him of 2 copies of Mythic is basically just a huge waste. So all the 7 spare copies are just dead drops that mean 0 value to us. So to a degree, it's actually unlucky. But we're naturally just going to be getting them from opening a bunch of them. Yeah, if you do still want to get a Cedric, just grinding during Vault events is your best bet. Next Vault event which is, I believe, in 2 weeks from now. Not next Friday, but the following Friday. But, yeah, just grind it like crazy. And try getting, like, a dozen Vault keys on a weekend and hopefully get a Cedric off of one of them. We got 13 last time. Our average, I believe, is somewhere around 8 for an event. But it is possible to get literal dozens of them. Pretty sure there's people that got over like 50 in a single event before. Of course, they're grinding for like 18 hours a day, but it is possible to, even with a shorter amount of time, to at least get several. Yeah, January 18th, so that's 2 Fridays from now. Not next Friday, but the following Friday. I really wish Volts had a chance of Vault Key. Still doesn't make any sense that they don't have it. It'd be the most simplest way for them to fix Treasure Hunt without doing anything, basically. Is just make Vault Keys have a Vault Key chance. Even if it's a ridiculously small chance. It would actually make it viable for people to bother completing out the entirety of Treasure Hunt. Even if it was some kind of absurdly low chance, like 10% or even lower than that, people would still do it just to try to get the Vault Key. Or at least, if nothing else, add it when it's a Treasure Gnome event. Because there's not a single chance to get a Vault Key from this game mode ever. Not even during a Gnome event. Yeah, Gnome events are also great times to soul farm, as well as great time to level hero classes, as well as a great time to do pretty much anything in the game where gnomes are found. Anything that takes like a long amount of grind time is basically the best time to do it during a Gnome event. Because you'll naturally get more value from whatever you're doing. Doesn't even matter what it is. As long as there's a gnome currently there in that game mode, it will happen. So challenges, explore, quests, PvP, casual PvP, what else? Those are the main ones. It's pretty much every location. The only places that they're not really in are dungeons, all the Guild War related events, delves, and I believe that's mostly it. Oh, also they do appear in Arena. I don't think all of them appear in Arena though, for whatever reason, but they do appear in Arena. Though the Pet Gnome only appears in PvP and Arena. Is one of the unique ones. I believe Soul Gnome and Glory Gnome, for whatever reason, do not actually appear in Arena. That or I just haven't seen them. I forget. I don't play Arena enough to know for sure. 2,500 gold and 1 diamond, or 2 diamonds, yeah. That's the unfortunate aspect of the normal gnome. The best gnome overall is Glory Gnome for sure. Its lowest drop is an insanely good 200 glory drop. Its best non-Vault Key drop is 1,000 glory, which is also insanely good. Not just that, it's not even like the individual keys, but you can actually use it for actual glory purposes too. Basically 50 glory keys, or 1,000 glory in any way you want to spend it. Either or you could use it for. But yeah, it has the best it has the best overall loot table. That's not counting the Vault Key. The next best after that would probably have to be Soul Gnome. Even though I don't personally need souls, Soul Gnome does give an absurdly high amount of souls. It has 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000 as its drops of souls. And Vault Key. All of them have Vault Key. With an increased chance during Vault events. Even Pet Gnome drops Vault Key during Gnome events. Oh, that was a Vault Key drop? Oh, wow. Wait, what was your other drops then? Should have gotten something else from there. Vault Keys have 4 drops. Assuming none of them escaped. And you'd always have a Cedric drop because it's impossible for Cedric to escape. Unless they killed your team, but then I think you get no loot if that happens. So that'd be really hard to happen. Even if you're in early game, I'm pretty sure your stats are low enough that they can't really win for the most part.
Extra turn.
I don't even know why they really have a battle for it. They could have done some kind of flashy screen or something. If there was ever a time to bring out a flashy screen, that would probably be the time.
Extra turn.
Because the Vault Keys are currently the most interesting key in the entire game. Other than maybe VIP keys. I don't know, I would say Vault Keys are more interesting than them. Just because there's a higher variety that you get from... Actually, there's a lower variety that you get, but there's a higher value variety within Vault Keys. Because there's still a lot of useless stuff you can get from VIP keys. Even though they're the best key in the game. Or, you know, from a normal key perspective. Yeah, sometimes you barely even notice the Cedric drop because it ends up dropping like the common or something else. That's worth basically 0. Or actually, it's worth literally 5 souls. And that's it. I don't even still understand why they have those drops on Cedric, the commons. Like, it makes sense that Cedric drops Cedric. But I feel like every single gnome should drop itself. Valraven should drop Valravens. Treasure Gnome should drop Treasure Gnome. Pet Gnome should drop Pet Gnome. So on and so forth. Doesn't really make much sense why Cedric has them all. Alright, we should need about another 50 or 60. Yep, we need 53 more. And then we get our 8 gem keys. They'll be worth it. Definitely worth it.
Extra turn.
Plus we're getting all the other loot along the ways. Also, I didn't even check there, but I believe we are almost at 20,000 gems as well. Just from everything that we're getting from Treasure Hunt.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
And all these gems are probably going towards... Actually, what are we spending gems on next? Probably the next hero class.
Extra turn.
Assuming I'm not on vacation next week. Because I still don't know when that is. I'll know more information on it probably in the next few days when I'm heading out. But, yeah, I'm heading out for about a week, most likely sometime this month, and another week sometime next month. When exactly any of those are, I do not know. But I should know on the one that's coming more recently within the next few days. Probably even later today. Or tomorrow. As far as knowing, not when I'm leaving. I should have at least a few days to notice.
Extra turn.
Well, move that over. Grab the other thing down.
Extra turn.
Grab a... let's take that for now. Oh no, stream! Stream went down again. There we go. Stream's back up. Hate when it does that. That's like the 3rd time this stream, too. Is the actual quality of the stream still there? Or is it looking weird at all in any way? Or lagging at all? That's the 3rd time it disconnected, but I don't know if it's actually lagging or not. And it's only been doing it for a short duration. Like a few seconds normally.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
A couple rounds of golf in Thailand. That's pretty nice. Never been a huge golf fan, but that's an interesting place to go do it, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere too interesting. Just New York, Chicago, and New Jersey.
Extra turn.
Though I've never been to Chicago before. Yeah, of course, that's not the only reason you're going, of course. Let's see. Move that over. Oh, these maps are getting really good all of a sudden. As I take the worst possible moves. This map probably would have went to like 120 if we would have actually played it out properly. Or deliberately not, because it's more loot to not play it out. Yeah, we should only need like 40 or less. Okay, 42. Every single time I check, it's an extra 2 on top of whatever I think it is. I'll probably check it the last time and only need 2 left. Which happened earlier for the previous reward as well. At this point, it's almost 1 gem key per map. If you think like about that. If we think about it like that, it's actually going to be really worth it. I should try 1 good map. We'll throw at least 1 good map. Like towards the end. Just to see how it goes. But just because we're trying to do a good map doesn't mean it's going to be a good map. Sometimes it's just a really bad map. What's the optimum number of turns to go for? Probably 30. Exactly 30 on the dot. Either 30 or 60. Though more often than not, just 30. Would be the most optimal thing to aim for. The main reason is it's divisible by 15 and it's divisible by 10. So you get the maximum number of event gems and you get the maximum number of trade stones. While still completing it out very quickly. There's a big difference between a 60 map and a 30 map though. But those are the 2 best locations to stop at when doing exactly what we're doing right now. There we go. And obviously, if you're trying to go for event gems, you also want to try stopping at anything divisible by 10. Like we stopped exactly at 40 there. There's like so many 5 times I could have taken there. Like 3 and 4 in a row that I didn't take. Probably should have. You having trouble getting 4 in Primal Rift? Can you please recommend a team? I don't know if I bothered making an endgame Primal Rift for that. It's probably going to be really hard, actually. There's a couple reasons why. One is it has the longest path to get to the final room of any delve. You have to do basically like half the delve in order to get there. The other issue with it is it has those movement troops, meaning there's a lot of stuff that you can't use. With that being said, though, I was gonna say Megavore, but it's not available. Colors don't have it. I guess Devour spam. Build something around Devour spam. Build like Gorgolfa, or you know, Gorgolfa front line, Gorgolfa back line. Actually, you know what? You probably wouldn't even need Gorgolfa spam. You can run Sylvania Mora, right? It's green and yellow. Yeah, you can run Sylvania Mora into a Devour spam team and just devour the things that aren't entangled, assuming they can be devoured. Probably something along the lines of something Sylvania Mora, Iron Gut something is most likely around what you would need to use. And then just Devour spam Iron Gut and Sylvania Mora for infinite entangle so they don't kill you with skulls. And then it wouldn't really matter too much what your first and last slot are, just because if you get the entangle out in time, they're not going to die. And whatever they are, you want to make sure they're interchangeable. It is probably the hardest kingdom in the entire game to build teams for, though, as well as the hardest kingdom to actually fully complete. We will be doing it in the future, but at the moment we've just been camping it. Oh, wait, sorry. I thought you said, my bad. I thought you said, my bad. I thought you said Warrens, not Primal Rift. As far as Primal Rift, that one was easy. We just did, Mang get to Skull Spam. That's all we did for that. My bad. Wrong kingdom completely. Or wrong faction, I mean. But, yeah, Primal Rift, we just used Keeper of Souls. Keeper of Souls Skull Spam. I believe we used Mang, Apothecary, Keeper of Souls, and Queen Aurora, I believe was our team, if I'm not mistaken.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
The way that you deal with their reflect damage is you set your hero class to Titan, and you set it to stun. And every time they skull you on barrier, they get stunned. So not only do you take no damage, but they get stunned and they can't reflect damage you either. Also, alternatively, instead of going Explosion on Titan, you can go in Rage. And within Rage, you will not take 25% skull reflect if you hit them with an enraged skull hit. They'll do 0 damage to you, even if they have the trait, because enrage hits through it. Yeah, exactly 50, nice. Let's see how close are we. I think we should need another 20-something. Let's see. Yep, exactly. So 22! Every single time I look, it ends in a 2 as far as how many we need. Every single time now. Like the last 4 or 5 times we've checked, we've been 2 away. I'm gonna check the final time, and it's probably gonna be 2 left.
Extra turn.
No, I highly doubt it's going to happen that many times in a row. But you never know. Definitely on quite a big streak.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Let's take that, grab a little bit of gold there.
Extra turn.
Let's take the other one over. And there we go. Okay, after this map, I think we're going to do our real map. Because if that real map is super, super good, we're almost just going to reach the end goal just from that. Actually, we'll do a few more and then we'll do the real map. See how far it goes. Problem is the real map takes like forever. If we actually play a map out correctly, it takes like 10 minutes. If it actually goes far. Though there's a possibility it just dies.
Extra turn.
Oh no, I need an extra turn. Oh, there we go. Nice. There we go, exactly 30. And we'll do one more map real quick. And then we'll go do a real one. And again, let's actually make this the real one. Looks like a pretty nice setup.
Extra turn.
So we'll go take that. Take that.
Extra turn.
I'll grab these coins first. See where that brings us. What do we want in all this mess? Grab that down. This isn't looking too good. There's a 5 times. I'll grab that. Get a little bit of 4 times in there. Get a free turn from there. Double 5 times, which is just a waste. Move that over just to get the other thing cascaded. Do that so it collapses into each other. A lot of useless resources still. That's kind of a waste, but it does give us 5 times there, so I guess it wasn't too bad. Into another 5 times. Let's see. Like a bronze coin to fall there. So I should take that extra turn first. We could try for an extra turn off the top there. Didn't get it. Then we have 5 times. It sits right there now. Another 5 times right there. It's not a 5 times, but we'll still probably move it somewheres. A lot of useless bronze coins where we don't need them. Should actually collapse that together. And then we can bring the other bronze coin down so we can get rid of this little area. So it's not clogging as much. You can move these bags and then get the middle one. Maybe just swipe that over. We could also move the bronze coin more towards the middle so it's not blocking. I guess we'll do that instead. Do a bit of that. I'll also bring the bronze coin over. Oh, but then we're going to have this other useless bronze coin. Oh, no, we won't, because we can move it into this. If we just move it down by taking the other turn. And make sure to grab our 5 times. Did we take this 4 times? Is it even worth it? Yes. So we'll take that. Grab that little coin. What do we do with this? Board's starting to get weird. I need to collapse all these green chests together. What to do? We can move, we should probably move these smaller gray coins, or whatever they're called, bronze coins into each other. We can move that over, that'll collapse the other section. Apparently 5 times as well. A lot of bags over here. Not that many gold coins though. Which is bad because we have a lot of silver, which is kind of doing nothing. Hello, Carlo, welcome. What do we want? What do we want? Such bad value actually playing these out properly. I think this map's already taken us ages, but got a higher turn amount. Okay, we'll take that over. Nice little 5 times out of nowhere. Looks like we'll collapse this just because it does a lot. Do we move this? Might as well. A lot of gold coins. That's a good sign. We could actually grab that for 5 times. We can move this together so they're not congested on the bottom. I still got to do something with those bronze coins down there. Still not sure what, but we'll move that for now. Sure, we'll take that 4 times. Another green chest to join all the other ones. I'm actually going to move that over, just because it moves some of the top so we can actually do something with it, but it also makes it so those coins are next to each other. I can drop a bronze into that if I want to, and I think I do, so we'll move that. How's there no extra turn and all that? Wish I could take a bronze there. Oh, 5 times. Let me grab that first. Oh, now we can do exactly what I said, so we'll move that over. How do I do these bronzes? I guess we leave the ones on the side. Oh, that guy's too low. That's bad. Oh no, I could probably convert him into that other section. But if I don't do that, it's going to be in the middle of nowhere doing nothing. Which would not be good. Oh, we got our first red chest. I'm actually surprised that was only our first red chest. I expected we'd have more by now. Which way do we move this? Do we even move it in that direction? Or do we just drop it? Let's move it over that way. Then we can take it the other way. Let's grab that one first, though. Why is there so much bronze coins all of a sudden? The entire board's bronze coin. Which is not good. Because we're getting a lot of congestion with them. That's just doing nothing. What do we take here? Let's grab a... I kind of want to move this over. Again, we could do it with the gold coin too, but then we're going to have this bronze coin dangerously low, doing nothing. Which would definitely not be good. I could try using these two to try to convert it away. But there's actually no way for us to drop it. And if we drop it with the gold, it's dropping all of them. I guess we could take this over to the left and try kind of doing that. I guess that kind of works. We'll move that over.
Extra turn.
A little random extra turn off of something there. I can collapse this into a red chest over there if I want to. We take the red, we take this gold and then we take the thing. But the problem with all that is it's not getting any extra turns, I don't believe. Oh no, it might be worth it. Oh, there we go. Okay, it was worth it. And there's our red chest I was talking about. And we did it all for 5 times. Get rid of some of this bronze, though we're gonna have to worry about this other bronze. Oh, you know what? We can just do that. And take it that way, so we don't waste any turns. I don't have a drop for that. I'm so tempted just to move those coins together. You know what? Let's move... Oh, no! That other 3. I was trying to drop a bronze in there. It wouldn't have even dropped anyways, but I didn't see the other one, which moved the other thing. Which now makes this whole board kind of bad. It's actually a really bad move. I think we're going to lose now. Pretty sure we lost. We just have too much congestion between everything. Move that down. Doesn't really get us any further. What else? What else? Grab a... grab that. Get our free little turny thing there. Take the other one down. Grab all that. See if we can get a drop there. Okay. What do we need? Let's grab a bag in some way. We can almost get a vault. I don't know if we really want a vault, but we can go get a vault. Take that one down. Hey, you get a nice little extra turn off it. I'll try for the gold coin there. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, I'll move that over. Grab a... I need these chests to get next to each other. We have a lot of chests there, but that doesn't mean we can actually get them into each other.
Extra turn.
Okay, that was a nice cascade. Didn't actually get us an extra turn, but it was a nice cascade. I guess I could start moving some stuff on the right side. Because I don't know if we're actually trying for vaults. I don't know, we'll find out in a second. Depends how easy it will be to actually get them into each other. Take our 5 times there. Yeah, we can get one right now. We move this down and then we move it over and then we finally get our vault. Let's move that first though. Take that over. And our first vault. And we can move it down by taking the normal chest here. Probably even a green chest follow-up.
Extra turn.
That'll clear up a decent amount of board. Move that. We then take the green chest to move it to the bottom.
Extra turn.
Keep taking all of our extra turns to get our turn count back up. Okay, so we got those two red chests next to each other. I'll go move the gold over. Grab a smaller one. Which way do we grab this? We could actually do this to get rid of every bronze coin currently on this side. I don't know if that's going to be worth it though, because we don't really get anything out of it other than clearing up the board. But now there's no bronze coins over there.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Yep, wrong way. Okay, looks like we'll hit double vault casually. Off the first map we try on, get double vault. Maybe we'll try for triple vault. It's been a while since I bothered going for triple, because there's barely any point to even go for one. Let's move that over. Is that a 5 times? No. Cascade all that together. Nice little cascade. Okay, what do we have going on here now? Got a 5 times there. I guess we grab that.
Extra turn.
See where that brings us. Another 4 times. Okay, we get another vault right there. How do we drop it though? Oh, we could drop it with the red. Is that a free turn red? We'll still go grab it. Okay, 2 volts. Let's see. Also, 122 turns, not too bad. That's the best map we've done for a while, but that's mainly because we haven't really tried actually doing maps properly for a while. I think this is the end of the road, though. I probably actually shouldn't have converted it so early. But oh well. Oh, that was a bad move. That didn't really do much for us. Let's see, I can get a red chest in there. That's not gonna do much, though. If I take it the other way, I can't convert that other green. It's just kind of stuck there. Yeah, I think we've reached the end of the road. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's over. Well, we got double vault, and we hit 128 turns. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, okay. It was the right move, though. Misclick. When they actually help. Okay, but let's see. Still the end of the map. That hasn't changed. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. 130. It's been a while since we actually hit a good map. Let's see. What do we get from the vaults? Oh, we got 5 gems and 2 gem keys. That was not worth, like, 15 minutes. But there we go. At least there wasn't horrible loot. 2 gem keys, I believe, is actually its best drop, which is basically 18 gems. And that's from 1 single vault, as you saw there. But, yeah, there we go. That's not too bad. That's what an actual map looks like. It's not time efficient to do that, though. But that's what it looks like. Oh, did we not even complete the event? Let me guess, we're 2 away. Oh, nope, almost. It wasn't 2 this time. It was 3. It wasn't 2. But all we need now is just 1 more map, so we'll just clear that out. And that's that. We have completed out the event.
Extra turn.
But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions or anything you want me to go over? As I'll probably just be ending out the stream after we finish out this map. So let me know. Tonight we'll be mainly just going and doing a bunch of delves and messing around with the normal stuff. And tomorrow we'll be going over all the new content coming out next week. Like the new hero class, which should be interesting. It's coming out next Friday. Oh, sorry, I missed your question. Oh yeah, I was focusing on the thing, so I probably missed a couple things that were mentioned during that time due to focusing. What's the highest rewards you can even get from a vault key? 2 gem keys, which is 18 gems worth, basically. It's the best drop you can get, and we actually got it. So that was pretty nice.
Extra turn.
But yeah, 2 gem keys, which is worth 18 or 20 gems, depending on how you look at it. Have I played Watch Dogs? No, I don't play any first-person shooters. What's the optimal number of turns to go for? 30. If you're just rushing through maps, 30 or 60 are the most optimal. Or if you're just trying to do the event, anything divisible by 10. All of them are the most optimal to go for. What platform are we playing on? We're playing on PC. unless that was to a different question. Let's see. I already answered the other one. Who is another good alternative to Cedric in the Skeleton Key team? You're currently using Apothecary. Yeah, Apothecary. That's pretty much the replacement for it. You're already using the correct one.
Extra turn.
Apothecary is normally the way to go since you can cleanse with it and you can just throw it right into with a weapon of Skeleton Key.
Extra turn.
Oh, what am I doing? I should probably start ending out this map. We actually have a lot of extra turns.
Extra.
This would have probably been a good map to actually probably do properly, but oh well. We don't need to do it properly. We only need that many more gems. We already have all that we need. Everything here is just a waste at this point. Keep going through.
Extra turn.
I was going to try for 60 at the end. Oh no, we might still be able to reach it. Or not. Oh no, we reached it. Yeah, there we go. 60. Nice way to end it. Come on, Red Chest, give us something good. Oh, only 50 souls, useless. There we go. Okay, and that's that. And that gives us 8 gem keys on top of the 2 we got from earlier from that one vault key. Or from that one vault, I mean. But there we go. We have finished everything. Or pretty much everything. Any team that could use the Doom troops? Yes. Sacrifice teams. It was something I completely forgot about the other day. Also, hello, George. Welcome. But, yeah, sacrifice teams. You can use sacrifice and gain a bunch of magic, and it doesn't die. I've been meaning to mess around with them some. I haven't really bothered doing that yet. But that's something I really should actually do sometime in the near future. Someone did bring that to my attention actually yesterday, but it's pretty much the only actual viable use for Dooms is using it with a sacrifice, because you can infinitely sacrifice spam, and Dooms have immunity to instant kill, but you still get the gem spawn, and you still get the magic gain, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, and they have death marks, so it even boosts ratios off of sacrifice, and it can make for some really interesting magic buff teams. I'm pretty sure double humility might still be better than using sacrifice plus Doom, because you're still using 2 troops regardless. But, I don't know, it's still fun to mess around with. But basically anything around that premise of something sacrifice, something Doom would end up being the team. Something along the lines of that. And it wouldn't be too bad of a team. Especially if whatever you're using is really magic dependent as far as your damage source. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. As I mentioned, we'll be back later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we always are. And we'll mainly just be messing around with all of the delves for the most part. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will catch you all later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for stopping by.